You can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one patient per year who might not have access to proper oral health care. Join me in making a difference.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more.
Here's a Men's Health Month fact. Men in the U.S. still have a shorter life expectancy than women, nearly 5 years shorter, according to recent CDC data. Preventable disease, delayed care, and avoidable health risks all contribute to that gap. Here's a helpful tip from Kraft Body Scan. Taking your health seriously isn't weakness, it's responsibility. The healthier you stay, the more energy, longevity, and quality time you can have with the people counting on you most. Learn more at craftbodyscan.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. WRAL Weather Alert Day. This afternoon we have a heat advisory that's in effect 99. Our high temperature, but feeling more like up to 108 with the heat index, so just be careful out there. A low tonight of 74. This evening some showers and storms roll in, and we do have a level 1 risk for severe storms with some wind damage possible. That chance of storms continues into tomorrow. We should get some much needed rain with a high of 90.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 133 points to 51,625.
Eight years ago, when Rod Brind'Amour was hired to be the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, he said the mission was to be the best team in the NHL. 5 seconds away. Played out. And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup. It's yours, Carolina, and it's coming back to North Carolina. The Stanley Cup.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Thursday. I woke up this morning and the Carolina Hurricanes were still Stanley Cup champs. And we just continue. It's like a Where's Waldo. You just see them pop up. They have the cup and they're playing golf. They have the cup and they're sitting on someone's backyard. They have the cup and they're out drinking. This Saturday, it'll be at the parade. We'll have something on that in a second. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show. This is The Drive. And we're going to get things started with the Big 3 at 3. The Big 3 at 3 is presented. There is number 1. It is presented by Mainer Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Maybe that was right there, right? Sometimes the machines don't work. Heating system, cooling system, right? The machines don't work. If they're not working, call Mainer Service Company. Or check them out online. Mainer Services, MAYNOR services.com. Number 1 is one day closer to the parade. Have you heard the saying? Ready for this? This is as literal as this saying has ever been.
Okay.
Don't rain on my parade.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want good weather on Saturday, but also don't let anybody out there in hater land, or that might be called fans of every other team in the NHL land, don't let them rain on the Canes parade. Here's the way I've started thinking about it. Yesterday, I was I was bitter. I was cynical, right? Oh, the Canes had an easy path. I was taking it personally, and I wanted to respond to each and every person that said it. Well, actually, since the Olympic break, right? Oh, actually, expected goals says, well, actually, like I wanted to go in there and attack them all. But today I'm taking a different path. I've become enlightened. You know what the enlightened part of me says? You're not mad at the Canes. You're mad at the other teams. Oh, put an asterisk on this cup because they didn't have to face the Florida Panthers. Well, trust me, the Canes were there. The Panthers weren't. Oh, they didn't have to play Colorado. The Canes were there. The Colorado wasn't. Right? At every step along the way, if they didn't face who you wanted them to face, it's because someone else beat them. Right? It's not the Canes were waiting. Right? They did the old school like 1950s high school fight thing, right? I'm going to meet you at 3:15 in the parking lot outside the auto body shop. And then the Canes were sitting there at 3:15 in the parking lot outside the auto body shop. And the teams you wanted to be there didn't show up. So you're not mad at the Canes. You're mad at the teams that you think are good. You're mad at the teams that you think are the big bad bullies on the block. You might be wrong by thinking that, but that's who you're mad at. The Canes, they had to beat Philly. They had to beat and I'm going like, well, everybody else lost. They either weren't good enough to make the postseason, or they lost in the postseason. Everybody else. So that's who you're mad at. You're not mad at me. You're just taking it out at me. Right? You're just taking it out on the Canes. I don't have to rebuttal. I don't have to fight back. This is misplaced anger is all it is.
Yeah, go Cope, buddy.
There's a lot of people with a lot of Cope memes and things. They'll throw it like you say one complaint and you're just being hit with copium. Oh, you Cope addict. Oh, Copacabana. There's a whole bunch of them. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Shout out to the Carolina Tar Heels. We heard it yesterday, or we told you about it yesterday on the show. It was breaking news. Carolina defeated West Virginia yesterday, built a gigantic lead, and it was enough to sustain, or withstand, I should say, a little run from West Virginia late. But that punched Carolina's ticket to the championship series, right? Men's College World Series championship final. The only question was, who are they going to be playing? And Oklahoma, with a win over Georgia last night, punched their ticket to the Men's College World Series championship final. So there's the matchup. Oklahoma, unranked, 41-22 on the season, against Carolina, 5th ranked, 53-12-1 on the season. And they're the only teams left standing. Those are the only two that are still in the running for a national championship in college baseball. Carolina, again, going to be a pretty hefty favorite, but you got to go settle it on the field. It is a best 2 out of 3 series for the whole thing. And suddenly, Carolina baseball levels up, right? They've done a ton over the last few years. This is kind of the last big remaining goal that has eluded them, but they've had award-winning individual players. They've sent players to Major League Baseball. They've filled stadiums. They've had success. They've done well in conference. They've done all of that. The national championship is the last jewel on the gauntlet for the old Thanos fans out there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the thing they have to put together. And it will start 2 days from now at 8 p.m.
You can listen to it right here on 99.9 The Fan. By the way, the betting favorite is North Carolina. They are minus 180 to win the whole College World Series.
Which in baseball, like, that's big. Because baseball, there's inherent randomness, which is how you end up with an unranked team in the final. Not saying Oklahoma is some little engine that could, but they were not, the popular pick all the way back at the beginning of the tournament. But what I will say is minus 180s in a 3-game series, which can, inherently become a little random, a little chaotic. It's a pretty good favorite, pretty good sized favorite for Carolina. And they did start racking up some individual awards. We Likely we'll talk about that in the Dean's List. But they're a good squad. I'll put it that way. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is number 2 in the Big 3 at 3. Let's get to number
3.
3. I was counting down instead of counting up there in my brain for a second. The U.S. Open is going on as we speak. Shinnecock Hills Golf Club up there in New York, Southampton, New York. I'll run through the local guys before we get to the big names. But I also want to say this. I'm expecting more from the course and from the course setup, okay? Too many guys are out there smiling. That's not what happens when you play the U.S. Open at Shinnecock. I want carnage. I want thrown clubs. I want people that are embarrassed by their body language when they're finished with their round. That's what Shinnecock does, especially when it's a U.S. Open setup. Locally, I want the guys that we know to do well. Max Gracerman, former Duke golfer, is tied for 6th right now. He is even through 14. Alex Fitzpatrick, he is also tied for 6th right now, even through 13 holes. He is a former Wake Forest golfer. Cameron Young, another Wake Forest golfer, is tied for 15th, 1 over par, 17 holes down for him. The others, Michael Brennan, Wake Forest, Ryan Gerard, UNC, Ben Griffin, UNC, Alex Smalley, Duke, Akshay Bhatia, just lives here locally in Wake Forest, and JT Poston, who I believe is either Western Carolina or Campbell. I will double-check for that for you during the commercial. They have not teed off yet. They are all waiting to get their first round underway. Those are the local guys. Right now I'm going to give you a U.S. Open scoreboard update at the top. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the U.S. Open. Here's the current leaderboard presented by McConnell Golf. At the top, 3 under par through 16. 3 under. U.S. Open, Shinnecock. Rory McIlroy, 3 under through 16. Sam Stevens is tied for 2nd, along with Ben James. So a couple of guys that would really change their career if they stay this high are both at 2 under par, tied for 2nd. Stevens in the clubhouse for the day. Ben James through 14. Other big names near the top. Ludwig Abear is in the group tied at 4 with 1 under par. And there's a whole host of players, including ones I've already mentioned, that are tied 7th, even par. A bunch of the local guys, Keegan Bradley, Tommy Fleetwood, Nicholas Norgard, some interesting guys near the top of the leaderboard. Kashmir Keith Mitchell tied for 18th at 1 over par. Just wanted to say his nickname. That's what it's looking like at the U.S. Open at the moment. U.S. Open updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina. And hopefully, it's really a weird sport. At least maybe I have a weird fandom with it. When I'm like, hopefully these guys will be doing way worse next time we talk about them. Because it's not like, it's the same course for everybody. I just want the course to show its teeth. The course to fight back a little bit. The computer is telling me right now they're facing 21-mile-an-hour winds. That should be plenty. Should be absolutely plenty. Still very early. Can't win the tournament on Thursday, but you can lose it on Thursday if you go up there and post a really funny number. The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. I do want to remind everybody we were talking about the Stanley Cup parade. Well, you can join 99.9 The Fan, that is us, Saturday morning for complete coverage of the Canes Stanley Cup Championship Parade. Our pre-parade broadcast starts at 10, live from Taverna Agora on Hillsborough. We will have the latest parade updates, our observations from the parade. We'll hear from fellow fans, and we will cheer on the champs as they take the main stage. Championship Parade coverage on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Parkway Sleep Health Centers in Cary. Sound sleep, sound health. It seems like, just to peel the curtain back a little bit, every time I turn around in the office, somebody else has an idea, some other way to make our parade coverage even better, even cooler, a new aspect. So tune in on Saturday to figure out all the different details and all the different things we have going on. That's Saturday, 10 a.m. for our coverage of the Canes Stanley Cup Championship Parade. Players are definitely testing their, they're supposed to be the most conditioned team in the NHL. They're testing it. Saturday is a long way into the future, and I think some of them may not have slept since they won the Cup. So we'll check their endurance. Will be one of the things we do during that Saturday parade. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, yesterday we talked about potential changes on the roster before next season. Now I have a different question. What if they don't change anything? Stick around.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Here comes Gostisbehere into the Vegas zone. Drops here for Aho. Back to Gostisbehere. He's going to set it up. Side of the net. They score! Tick, tack, toe! Andrei Svechnikov's second power play goal. And it puts Carolina up 4-1 in Game 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. When this is I want to be clear, okay, before you all react to what I'm about to say. This is the ultimate first class problem, right? The whole like my private jet takes too long to refuel. Like it's not really a problem. It's actually a huge advantage. Or a huge asset, but it's a problem. When you win the Stanley Cup, your off season is shorter. When you win the Stanley Cup, there's no time between your season ending and when the buyout window opens. There's less time between when your season ends and when free agency opens up, right? Everything gets accelerated because you played as long as you possibly could, and then you celebrated for a couple days, as you should. So with that, there's really no like, hey, let's take a break, 2 weeks, let's come back and evaluate the roster, see what we want to do. It's kind of, the roster was awesome, but we got to evaluate it right now, which is why yesterday we did things like the thought exercise of what are the 3 biggest potential changes to the roster we could see between winning the Stanley Cup and the beginning of next year. And quite a few of you didn't love that conversation because your precious Stanley Cup winning Carolina Hurricanes should be put in bubble wrap and never change. So let's explore that side. If the Carolina Hurricanes change nothing, if the exact same roster with the exact same lines, with the exact same defensive pairings, let's even say in this category, in this hypothetical, that Freddie Anderson decides he wants to continue playing and the Canes bring him back on a 1-year deal to be a third goalie. Like, let's say everything's the same. All those young guys that people are excited about in the AHL, they're going to be young guys that everybody's excited about in the AHL next year. Let's talk about like the every single thing being the exact same. Okay, they've been put under glass and they're not going to be touched until next season. Where do the Canes get better? Right? Because the two ways to get better: one, replace players with better players, or two, keep the same players and they individually improve, which is more realistic for some than others. Right? It's very rare that you become a 3 levels up better player when you're 39 years old. It's very rare in year 14 in the league you suddenly become something you have shown no inclinations would happen. Sometimes you can recapture some old magic, and there's definitely ebbs and flows to your career. But when you're a younger player, when you're a player whose role is expanding, right, there's both internal and external factors on your play that could lead to just a gigantic individual improvement. So let's name, say, 3 guys on the Carolina Hurricanes right now that in this experiment would be the exact same Carolina Hurricanes roster that we have at the beginning of next year, that are the best candidates to help the Canes improve without changing the names on the roster. We'll go back and forth, Dennis. You like that little tennis action?
Let's go.
Toss it to you, toss it to me. All right, why don't you go ahead and lead off? And I have mine written down, so if you double up, I'll just say, yep, me too.
Alexander Nikishin.
That's my number 1.
Okay, Alexander Nikishin.
I think that's very obvious. I don't think we're splitting the atom here.
We saw what Jackson Blake, his rookie season, overall his rookie season, but wasn't too bad. 17 goals, 17 assists, playing up and down the lineup. Kind of wore down a little bit, playing first year in the NHL, and we saw him struggle in the playoffs last year as well. But then he understood. I talked to him before training camp about how he changed his offseason training a little bit, actually skating a little bit less to kind of focus on the strength training and things like that a little bit more, so he can handle an 82-game season plus the playoffs. Well, I think it worked out pretty well for him, that first year to second year. I'm expecting the same thing from Alexander Nikishin. He has all the physical abilities, but I think actually having a full season of NHL hockey under his belt, understanding what it takes both physically and mentally to play in the NHL, in Rod system, and as well as in the playoffs, I think he should definitely take a big leap next year.
It's in order to expect or to predict a big jump, there has to be the upward mobility, right? You have to have a player who is capable of it. And the one thing we know about his physical skills is that he is capable of something much better. I don't think, again, I'm not breaking news here. He had some real rookie moments in the postseason.
Very much so.
Which, for the most part, seemed jitters or mental decisions, right? Like there was nothing that he tried to do that looked like, ooh, he can't do that. There were things that I was like, why did he try to do that rather than being held back physically? Which, I mean, that's just given to you at birth, right? Like those and earned in the gym and earned in the training. Not everybody has that, and he does. Also, we've seen defensemen in a Kane system just get better kind of year over year, especially for their first few in that system. So if he sticks around, if he keeps listening to the veterans on that blue line, if he keeps listening to the coaching staff, they will help him unlock that higher level of play. Who's your number 2?
Logan Stankoven.
Interesting.
I think this is a player that we know created a bunch of chances, especially the second half of the year, and the goals just weren't happening. But then late in the season, March rolls around, all of a sudden things start clicking. Then it sustained for 2 months after the regular season.
I don't mean to cut you off, but there's the anecdote, and I want to make sure I get the numbers right, that his goal was 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Olympic break, I think he told his dad, I'm not sure I'm going to get to 30.
Yeah.
And because at that, like, you look at it and I get what he was thinking, but then obviously after the Olympic break, it was like, never mind. What were you worried about? Like, he kind of, as you mentioned in March, everything came together and he ran away with some stuff.
Yeah, things pretty much took off mid-March and on for him. I think him having a grasp of the Canes system and going into a second full season with the team and playing center again, I think, again, just the continued adjustment and growth from it, I think he should improve on faceoffs as well, because I think that was a bit of a struggle for him this season, was the faceoff dot. He was just over 44%. If he can creep that up to anywhere near 50%, that's a massive boost for him. And I think for him, his confidence has got to be sky high after the playoffs, and I don't see why he can't put up 50-plus points this upcoming season, if not pushing 60.
He was not one of my choices, but if there is a large jump from him, and this applies, this is the same point I'm going to make for one of mine. When you have a really good playoff, sometimes you go back to the regular season and just the way you carry yourself. It's like the kid on JV that played varsity during summer league or something like that, and then they go back down to JV, and just because they carry themselves like, oh, I handled myself on a varsity level, like they're now much better on JV. He's like, oh, I scored 11 goals in the postseason last year. Regular season, of course, I'm going to expect myself to score goals and win board battles and do everything. And sometimes it's just that mindset that changes it, which is why I put Jackson Blake here.
Oh, okay.
And it was Logan Stankoven or Jackson Blake, because I was going to put one of the two super young dudes that were on that line. Jackson Blake is just a hint younger. So I went, all right, I'll take the guy who's just whatever, half a year younger and roll with that. I think Jackson Blake could really become hey, we expect you to put up a point per game guy. Like it could, maybe not this upcoming year, but steps along that path until you are that guy. He's just very offensively gifted. He watches, he sees the game in a way that is very offensively gifted. Like he sees the options. Options not the word. He sees the opportunities to go score goals, and then he seizes them. So, and especially if they keep that line together, it'll be pretty darn good.
Yeah, you got to think for Jackson Blake, his first full season, 80 games, 17 goals, 17 assists, 34 points, plus 10. This year, 81 games. The only games that he missed was because he was being rested. But 22 goals, 31 assists, 53 points. It's a massive jump. There's no reason why you shouldn't expect him, because he also skated about nearly 3 minutes more of ice time. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds more of ice time. There's no reason why you can't expect a 60-point season from him.
I remember being very jarred when he was reaching his previous season stats and looking at how much time was remaining in the schedule. I don't remember exactly what the date was, but I remember going like, that he just tied his season high or his season total last year in points, and then it's like, and he still has forever to add to it. So, I mean, if it stays linear, if he improves at that rate again, what's that, another 19 points more? Like you're flirting with 75, which would be ridiculous.
And he'll turn 23 in August. Stankoven just turned 23 at the very end of February.
There you go.
Like there's still a ton of room to grow for these guys.
Who's your number 3?
Seth Jarvis.
Gosh darn it! I thought.
Oh, really? Same one?
I thought I was going to be so like, you're never going to believe this, but somebody who I think is Seth Jarvis. I was so gosh darn it, Dennis. No, actually, I'm kind of happy because it means we're seeing the ice the same.
We are, and I think it's just, when does he take the step to the next level? Because when we talk about, again, a young player, we talk about, Jackson Blake is 23, about to turn 23 years old. Logan Stankoven just turned 23 back in February. Seth Jarvis is only 1 year older than Logan Stankoven.
My favorite, like, there's no way this is true, is Seth Jarvis was born in 2002.
Yeah.
And Alexander Nikishin was born in 2001.
Yes.
So Nikishin, who is, seen as this, like, borderline, he's like, 25% still a prospect. Like they like an adolescent NHL player, and Jarvis is a weathered veteran. Jarvis is actually younger than Nikishin.
Yeah. He's literally only a year older than Logan Stankoven is. But I'll turn it over to you here, Tim. But my question is, does he take the next step as a player in terms of his production? He's been at 33, 32, 32 in terms of goals, 34, 35, 34 in terms of assists. Now, granted, he's also played in fewer games per year over the last 3 years. So his points per game this year is the highest of his career. But I do question the health of that shoulder injury that he's been dealing with for a few years. But when does he make it, hey, this is a 40-goal, 75-point guy?
You hit on it for me. I think mentally, in the last 3 years, his game, his hockey IQ, his understanding of everything has continued to trajectory up the way that you would expect a player like his to. But I do think that shoulder or whatever he's been dealing with, right? Because he's had little ailments here and there. I think it's made it tough for him physically to make good on how much better he is seeing the game. So this offseason, I would imagine priority number one is get as healthy as possible. Last offseason, I think there was some his goal was to make sure he was on Team Canada. And obviously earlier on, you're looking at like 21, 20 years old. He's just trying to prove that he's an NHL dude. Now he's proven he's an NHL guy. He's been on Team Canada. This offseason, he's won a cup, right? Like this offseason, if it's surgery, it's surgery. If it's something else, it's something else. If it's, I don't know. I don't pretend to be a medical professional. Get as healthy as he possibly can, because I think, and this is, it's a hypothesis, but it's why he's on my list. If he is as healthy as he's been the last 3 or 4 years, and if the surgery, maybe he misses a couple games at the beginning, whenever he comes back, if he is fully healthy, go, Seth Jarvis, and then he gets to pair in all of the hockey IQ lessons that he has piled on top of each other the last few years, that's when I think you see those two elements are the things the scientist pours into the beaker, and then all of a sudden, boom, right? Explosions are coming out. Because he has, like you mentioned, his points per game are going up. I think his health has kind of been going down. And he's just been getting better at maneuvering without some of that health. So and again, all guesses. I don't know. I haven't seen x-rays, right? I don't know what he's dealing with. If what I expect to be true is we'll hear something about an injury shortly, and then this offseason will be priority number one, get healthy. Next offseason, maybe he doesn't play as many games. Again, could miss some at the front if what I'm thinking is true. But his points per game goes to the point where we're like, oh, he leveled up. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Can you imagine if all of those happen? Everybody levels up?
That's what you expect.
Well, it's what you hope. It's what you hope for. Expecting everyone on the team to get unbelievably better is, well, it would be awesome, but probably can't expect it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. I can tell you this, you can expect awesome luxury timepieces at the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. You can expect the newest, latest, most recent editions of Omega icons. Speedmasters, right? The Moonwatch. Seamasters, the favorite watch of your favorite movie, Spy. Yes, the one you're thinking of. You can talk about the Constellation, the DeVille if you want to be a little bit dressier. The Omega Boutique, which is located inside Raleigh's Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry, is the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire country. And because of that, you walk in, even my son, I take my son when I go watch shopping. He calls it the Moon Room because they have really cool vibes and everything. He wants to see the Moon Room. I'm like, perfect. You go look at the posters of the moon. I'm going to check out the Seamasters. It's a thing for the whole group. They have cookies and drinks and everything there for the kids as well. So basically what I'm telling you is if you are an Omega fan like I am, Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Village District location in Raleigh, check out the Omega Boutique and let them know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan when you do stop by. Coming up next, we have the Dean's List. Local team playing for a national championship. I would assume they're going to be on it. Stick around.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Handy Hugo's, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
This is the sound of Jack buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy.
Oh, ouch.
However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Member FDIC.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Stutzle, sharp angle. Anderson has to be ready. He'll get it right back. Stutzle, get out in front. That goes off of a leg of Slavin.
You don't usually see Brady Tkachuk and Stutzle together. They've been effective on this shift.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right. We're vibing. Canes are Stanley Cup champs. And we'll have more debates, legacy debates, glow-up debates as the show moves along. But for right now, since we love college sports so much here in the Triangle, let's hit a little Dean's List. Got to start with the Carolina Tar Heels baseball team, the Diamond Heels. They are in the championship, the final series of the College Baseball World Series versus Oklahoma. Starts 2 days from now, 8 p.m. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. I mean, what else is there to say? You're one of the last 2 teams standing. Should be fairly well rested. You got through so far the Omaha portion, the College World Series portion in the minimum amount of games. So you should be well rested in the bullpen. You got a couple more days to make sure everybody's ready to roll. Go out there and take care of business against Oklahoma, and you are immortal. You're a national champion. Now, people won't like this because I'm going to split it between NC State and UNC. Ty Head of NC State and Gavin Gallagher of UNC baseball. They are both the recipient of the Gold Glove by the American Baseball Coaches Association as they were announced Wednesday evening. It's the same as Gold Gloves in Major League Baseball. It means you were the best defender at your position. Head is the best defensive center fielder, which is... I mean, everybody knows in Little League, right? You put your fastest kid in center field. Like, that's where you put the best defensive players. He started all 56 games for the Wolfpack in center field. Did not commit a single error. 133 chances. He recorded 131 putouts and 2 assists. That's pretty good. And then Gallagher, best defensive second baseman for UNC. Actually had been playing third base in years past. Bumped over to what they're calling his more natural position, second base. He had 300 chances this season, made only 5 errors, and also led Carolina to one of the best team overall marks in fielding percentage. They were 4th in the country with 59 double plays turned this season. 38 of them involved Gallagher. So, pretty good player out there in the field at second base. And that doesn't even take into account that he's one of the leading active postseason RBI guys. So he gets it done at the plate as well. Both of them do. I think Head was one of the best good eyes in the country. Drew a ton of walks, which if you're a fast center fielder, just get on base. Figure out the rest later. So congratulations to both of them. Nice little award. Dennis, do you have some Dean's Listers you would like to throw out here?
I do. I'm going to throw the University of Wisconsin hockey.
Yep.
Because obviously Keandre Miller played at the University of Wisconsin, just won a Stanley Cup. But also I want to throw in from the University of Wisconsin.
Okay.
Caroline Harvey. Caroline Harvey was drafted number 1 out of Wisconsin, was drafted number 1 overall yesterday in the PWHL draft by the Vancouver Golden Knights. You want to talk about a year? You want to talk about a year, Tim? Here's this. She was part of the U.S. Olympic team that won a gold medal. She was also part of a national championship team at the University of Wisconsin, her 3rd national championship. She also was the Patty Kazmaier Award winner for the nation's best female ice hockey player in college hockey. So she won that award. She also was the Winter Olympics best defenseman in the entire Winter Olympics for women. She's also on the All-Star team and was also the Olympics most valuable player and also the International Ice Hockey Federation 2026 Female Player of the Year. And then also the USA Hockey Women's. And so anyway, just you want to talk about NCAA All-Tournament team. She was also the Defender of the Year and the Player of the Year in the NCAA. Anyway, so
what you're saying is Keandre Miller is going to have to win a few more cups and medals if he wants to keep pace with his fellow alum of the Badgers.
He's got some room. He's got some room between, he's got some room to make up.
You want to know how dumb I am?
What's that?
I guess her nickname is KK.
Yes, it is, actually.
And that's what they announced as the number 1 pick. And my mind went to, I wonder if that's related to the Harvey that played for Wisconsin. Then I looked it up, and it was the exact same person I was thinking of. I was like, never mind, same person.
But yeah, appreciate the greatness.
Yeah. It's actually her 2nd Olympics, by the way, just now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
She's the number 1 draft pick. She's already played in 2 Olympics with the big league club. It's not like they have, U19 Olympics. Couple more here. Khalil Watson makes the Dean's List.
Okay.
He's a Wake Forest High School former baseball player. He was committed to NC State, never made it there because he was drafted 18th overall. He was promoted to the major leagues for the first time yesterday. And he was supposed to be. I should actually look into it. He was supposed to be in the lineup today for a 2-10 start for the Cleveland Guardians. So we'll see if he actually made his debut. And then lastly, Nate Shepard, Duke sophomore running back. ESPN is starting to put out their lists. They surveyed 20 front office staffers across the sport, general managers, player personnel directors, scouting directors, those types, to find out the top returning players in the country at each position. They revealed their running backs. Nate Shepard tied for the 10th best running back in the country.
Nice.
And if you're wondering, other ACC ties, excuse me, Isaac Brown of Louisville was number 5, fast. And Hollywood Smothers, formerly of NC State, now at Texas, was number 6. Nate Shepard, Duke, 10th, according to the surveyed front office staffers.
What was the name of the pitcher for the Guardians again?
It's not a pitcher, I don't believe so. Khalil Watson.
Oh, Khalil Watson. Okay, he's actually playing in right field. He's batting 8th. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and he has a strikeout so far.
Hey.
But it's all right, through 5 innings.
He's been on a Major League Baseball field for the first time after being drafted 18th overall a few years ago. Debut. Now just get that first hit. Just get the metaphorical whatever off your back. You know what I mean? Do that. Wake Forest High School, right around here. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List. We can go ahead and dismiss. And we can let you know all about Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. These are the things that make your house work. These are the things that make your house not like a off-the-grid cabin, right? These are the things that make us comfortable. Mainer Service Company wants to make sure the things that make you comfortable are, in fact, making you comfortable. If there's anything going on, if when you turn on your air conditioner, you're smelling something you shouldn't, or you're hearing a clunk, clunk, clunk that you don't like, or quite frankly, it's not cooling your house like it used to, Mainer Service Company should be your very first call. Don't call your friend and complain. Call Mainer Service Company and get it taken care of. And that's the same for anything going on with your plumbing, anything going on with the electrical work in your house, or, of course, heating, although with the temperature it's been recently, you're probably not checking on your heating very often, but maybe get a little maintenance checkup. That's always an option as well. Give them a call. They are locally owned. If I'm going to ruin it for you, right? You see their trucks everywhere. You might not notice them. They might blend in with all the other cars. Once they stand out to you, you're going to see them all over the place because they are all over the triangle. The number, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. When we come back, the Canes won a Stanley Cup. They're celebrating. They're taking the cup with them everywhere. Whose legacy was most changed by being on a Stanley Cup team? Stick around.
Congratulations to the 2026 Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
Congratulations, Canes, from Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, proud partner of the Stanley Cup champions.
It is Men's Health Month, and I'm Tim Donnelly, joined by Dr. Katie Rains, urologist from Wake Med. Doctor, when it comes to prostate cancer, what types of screenings are there for men to do, and where do you find them, or where do you get them done when you're interested?
The best screening test for prostate cancer is a blood test called the PSA, or the prostate-specific antigen. And if that's high, you may be recommended to go see a urologist. There are other tests that we can do in addition to that blood test, including a digital rectal exam. That doesn't have to be done if you go see your primary care doctor to discuss a PSA, but that may be part of your workup. And then if your primary care doctor does that blood test and it is high, they may refer you to see a urologist for further testing.
Once again, it is Men's Health Month, so for answers to questions like that one and much, much more, including general information for men and their health, please visit wakemed.org. Once again, that website is wakemed.org.
Hi, friends. This is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. I get it. You don't wake up excited to schedule car maintenance. Between work, school, family activities, and everything else life throws your way, it can be tough to find the time. That's why I'm excited to share that beginning July 11th, our University Place and Crabtree locations will be open Saturdays from 8 to 5. Now you'll have one more option for taking care of your vehicle. Schedule your Saturday appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. My favorite place to go in the Triangle for the best wings on the planet. How about this special? Every Monday, half-priced wings all day. Dine-in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Everything on the menu is amazing. Pizza, apps, and always great drink specials. Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and their pet-friendly patio, too. Online, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes, winners of the 2026 Stanley Cup. They fought hard all year and have reached the top. Great work on an incredible season. Brought to you by Smith Anderson Law Firm, where winning performance meets over a century of trusted counsel.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And you know, we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Ehlers, goal line extended, watched by Shabbat. Miller, his shot deflects wide with traffic in front. Canes to the rebound. Miller, he gets this one. Ehlers, Martin, he scores! This one counts. Jordan Martinook wins it in overtime.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So let's get the obvious out of the way. The Canes are going to have a championship parade on Saturday. You can join 99.9 The Fan Saturday morning for complete coverage of that Canes Stanley Cup Championship Parade. Our pre-parade coverage, our broadcast starts at 10, live from Taverna Agora on Hillsborough. We will have the latest parade updates. We'll hear from fellow fans and cheer on your champs as they take the main stage. Championship Parade coverage on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Parkway Sleep Health Centers in Cary. Sound sleep, sound health. The obvious is everybody that's going to be in that parade, every player is a Stanley Cup champion forever and ever. And what that means to them is most important, right? They're the ones that put in the work. They're the ones that sacrificed. They're the ones that put their bodies on the line. They're the ones that won it. But in true sports fashion, right, part of the reason why sports, they get to make so much money is because the fans care so much and spend and debate and everything else. That's why we have a job as well. Not every Stanley Cup does the same thing for every player on the roster when it comes to how they are discussed, how they are remembered by the sport. The team is immortal. The players fall into different categories. I always say, and this is more of a basketball conversation, some people win championships. Some people are on a team that won a championship. Right? That's why Michael Jordan's 6 are more impressive than Robert Horry's 7. Right? Because some people are the drivers of a championship. Some people are on a team. And there's, by the way, both are wildly impressive. And, like, you know, they could all drop the mic on any of us with, like, yeah, but I won a cup. Hear you. So I asked this question. For the Carolina Hurricanes, everybody on that roster, who will history increase the way they look, meaning the history has its eyes on you, the way the history of the game will look at these players. Who benefits the most from this Stanley Cup? Now, I think the obvious answer a lot of people would say is Jordan Staal, because he won the Conn Smythe, and also because of maybe the early career peers that he had that may have run out to a lead in the race that now he's catching up. But I don't think so. He already had a cup. He's already beloved by the Canes. He already owns a bunch of records. He's already a captain. He's already well-respected. All of those things have already happened. And another cup does boost him, but I don't think as much as some others. Another obvious answer would be Sebastian Aho. I think that's a good one. Because up until now, you can't win a cup with Sebastian Aho as your top line. Blah, 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 blah. Like, that's just gone now. You never have to hear that ever again, and that's a big deal. Do you know who I think it actually benefits the most?
Who's that?
2 guys. I'll give you one defenseman and then one forward.
Okay.
Defenseman is Jacob Slavin.
Yeah.
Jacob Slavin was on Spittin' Chicklets today. This is like one of those like mind-blowing things. Prior to this year, he had never won a championship at any level. Like, we're talking, he never brought home like the 12U plastic trophy. Like, he had never won a championship at any level. This year, he won a Olympic gold medal and a Stanley Cup in the same year. And when you are a defenseman that, ready for this? Doesn't score a lot of goals or have the 100-point seasons like some of the other, maybe more hyped defensemen, you do need the team success to point out all of the winning things you already do. I think Jacob Slavin is the one that went from like, oh, he's so good. Remember how he was at the Four Nations to like, no, this dude enters in conversations now that he used to not be a part of. And then forwards, I think it's Nikolai Ehlers. I think everything that people thought was happening with Mitch Marner kind of was happening to Nikolai Ehlers right under their nose, where it was a guy from a Canadian team that had, for whatever reason, even though he's a good player and there's a lot of context, a lot of like, oh, he's not built for the postseason. Oh, he's not built for the postseason. Even Winnipeg was playing him like no minutes, not none, but way less than they should when they made it to the postseason. And Obviously, that was a mistake based on what we've seen him do in the postseason this year. His Stanley Cup final was bonkers. He scored the goals that he needed to score in order for the Canes to get where they haven't gone before. The super obvious ones, like the 2 in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, but also like some under-the-radar gigantic plays that you could argue could have been the difference for the Carolina Hurricanes. I think he becomes a higher level player. I think he becomes like, I know this isn't history, this is kind of current, but if you go look at the comments after the Canes signed Nikolai Ehlers, there were actually more than a few like, that's rich for Nikolai Ehlers. That's a lot of money. Oh, goodness, that per year? Whoa. And now if you look at the comments, he's a steal at twice the price. Like just watching that postseason run and watching that Stanley Cup final, he has so many more believers. And I think that run and then ultimately getting the cup changed it a ton for him. Meanwhile, like some of the Marner talk has gone back, right? We thought it changed, but those last 3 games, where was Marner? And it's like, look at that, right? It kind of, the thing you thought was going to happen for Marner happened for Ehlers when no one was watching. Anybody I'm missing, Dennis?
All right, so you mentioned, make sure you said Jacob Slavin.
Slavin and Ehlers were my answers.
Sure.
Aho, I think is, like, if I were to put them in like gold, silver, bronze, gold, Jacob Slavin, see what I did there?
Yeah.
Silver, Ehlers, bronze, Aho.
So we're talking about legacy talk here?
Yeah, like who enters into a conversation now. I always say like GOAT talk.
Yeah.
It's like 4 rings or 3 rings is like that's the cover charge to get into the club where they're having the conversation.
Sure.
Who gets to go into a different club now?
You're hearing a lot of the Jordan Staal conversation taking place for sure. I think the one that probably really added to his career because he's so revered is Taylor Hall.
That's a good one. I agree.
Taylor Hall, because, again, number 1 overall pick, won a Hart Trophy, just unfortunately was just stuck in some bad situations on some pretty bad teams. The fact that Chicago was healthy scratching this guy. Like, you know what? This guy isn't good enough to play for us, and we stink. And Carolina gets him as part of that Ranton and, that whole trade and everything that took place. And this dude is a stud. Honestly, if Jordan Staal didn't win the Conn Smythe, it probably would have been Taylor Hall. And you know what? If you would have told me Taylor Hall would have won the Conn Smythe after the game, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. He easily could have won the Conn Smythe for sure.
Do you know what is he'll never say it out loud. Actually, maybe he will because he's getting kind of spicy. He had some interviews where he was like, Philly was never going to beat us. Every team that he played for prior to the Carolina Hurricanes, Edmonton, New Jersey, Arizona / obviously Utah, Buffalo, Boston, Chicago, he got a cup before all of them, right? So everybody that traded him away did not get there before he did. And I think that is something that an athlete who obviously, if he's that good, if he is, as talented as he probably is competitive and holds grudges and things like that. It's a good little winner there. What I like about that answer, maybe I'll put him in 4th, is when you pair the Hart Trophy with a Stanley Cup, that's like individual greatness, team greatness. You've now been a part of both. And you probably do get to enter into some conversations there. If you look at the total number of NHLers throughout history that have both a Hart Trophy and a Stanley Cup, that's probably a group you want to be associated with.
For sure.
So Taylor Hall is another good one there. Anything else that
How do you watch hockey and pick Philly?
That's so good. How do you watch hockey and pick Philly? That was on Spittin' Chicklets, right?
Yeah,
Just
it
to
was.
give them credit. That's such a good line.
Yeah, he and Martin Nook were on with them. I know, like you said, Jacob Slavin was on with Spittin' Chicklets and stuff earlier. You can find all the posts and stuff online. But it is interesting how, the guys have receipts and all those kinds of things. But I think for Taylor Hall, it's just the grind of his career. He's 16 seasons into his career now. He's drafted first overall 2010. He's worked a long damn time to get to this point. And he finally has. He bought into a role. Yep. Don't have to be a superstar. Just buy into the team, buy into the role, and he bought in from day one.
And I will add this name just as another honorable mention. Freddie Anderson.
Yeah.
speaking of being at it a long time and reputation staying with you and everything else, he's got a cup. That's a good mic drop for anyone that wants to heckle him.
He got the Toronto stank off him.
I mean, I think it was 2017-18, he led the league in like minutes and saves or something like that.
Oh, they were playing him like 66, 67, 68 games, and they're like, all right, go play in the playoffs now too.
That's just a lot of wear and tear to finally end up on the other side holding the cup. That second person on the team to hold the cup, by the way. So, Freddie Anderson, honorable mention. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a football at 4 question for you coming up next. If you're the Carolina Panthers, are you leaping at the chance in the supplemental draft to bring in another quarterback in Brandon Sorsby? Stick around.
A bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come in, throw it in, and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Today is a WRAL weather alert day. A high of 99, which will break a record, but feeling more like 106 to 108. So we do have a heat advisory in effect right now. As we get into the evening, a chance of showers and storms. A level 1 risk. A few of these could produce some wind damage. 74 for our overnight low. And then more much needed rain and storms for tomorrow with a high of 90.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 73 points to 51,565.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Brandon Sorsby. In case you've been so entrenched in hockey talk that you've completely missed the gossipiest news of the football offseason. Brandon Sorsby got himself caught up in a gambling addiction, as he and his representation have revealed, where it turns out he had made bets on a college football team that he was a part of, in addition to thousands and thousands of dollars of bets on other sports and other levels of sport and everything else. Because of that, he's not going to play college football. He was supposed to, quote-unquote supposed to. He had committed to transfer from Cincinnati to Texas Tech and cash a big old check in NIL money. But with the gambling situation and certain rulings by the courts and certain threatening and posturing by lawyers on conference side and team side and everything else, he's elected to go into a supplemental draft in the NFL. Now, what a supplemental draft is basically a player becomes eligible for the draft after the NFL draft. So what teams can do is it becomes like a blind auction. You can put in which 2027 NFL draft pick you are willing to use on Brandon Sorsby. Quarterback, some people are very excited about his ability. Some are very concerned about his off the field. Both are valid. And then you would get the player, and whenever that pick comes up in the 2027 draft, it just doesn't exist. You'll get skipped over. That's how it works. We've seen it in the past. Terrell Pryor was a supplemental draft pick. There was a wide receiver from Baylor that was a pretty notable supplemental draft pick, but it doesn't happen very often. I don't think we've had one since 2023, and not a high pick in longer than that. First of all, just to let you know that this is a big deal, Pete Thamel, ESPN, College Football Insider, we have some audio here for you on just the interest that there is across the NFL in a quarterback and a player named Brandon Sorsby.
Brandon Sorsby is a quarterback who has first-round talent. And when a player like this becomes available in a forum like the supplemental draft, the entire NFL is going to dig in as much as they can. I've been told by both NFL sources and Sorsby's camp that they expect all 32 teams to be at his pro day, which is going to be July 10th in the Dallas area at Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas. His agent, Ron Slavin, told me yesterday that 25 GMs have reached out already directly to him to talk about Sorsby and his availability. Because of the nature of the supplemental draft, where you put in a blind pick, everyone kind of has skin in the game here. And because it's a quarterback who could end up being a franchise quarterback, I'm not saying he is, but the talent is certainly intriguing enough, everyone is going to dig in.
That's interesting. The quarterback first-round talent, if you just stop there, I think most people would be surprised what teams would overlook if you have a quarterback first-round talent. Because it's a sport where everybody either has a franchise guy or they are chasing having a franchise guy. And you usually don't keep your job very long if you don't find a franchise guy. So if there's a chance you can get a first-round talent quarterback, and maybe even for a value on a little dented can special for some stuff that others might care about more than you do, people are going to look into it. Now, I thought this was going to be really fun for Carolina Panthers fans to watch from afar, right? I thought this was going to be like a rubbernecking situation, right? Like, ooh, this is going to get interesting. Get the popcorn. Let's watch. Until yesterday, I think it was right after the show, just, moving around, trying to read some things, and all of a sudden the Panthers keep popping up as a team that could potentially make a big move in the supplemental draft for Brandon Sorsby, the quarterback. Now, here's Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL front office executive, current ESPN analyst, talking about the teams that could be interested in the player.
From a team-building standpoint, it is so hard to find quarterbacks. So there are some teams, in my opinion, non-obvious, teams like Minnesota, Atlanta, Carolina, that may sit there and say, wow, in the second or third round, we may have a quarterback for the next 10 years. What about Pittsburgh? And then you layer on teams like Arizona, Miami, the Jets. There's going to be a bunch of teams that are going to take a long look at this opportunity.
Wait a second. Did he say Carolina? What? Huh? Ben Solak of ESPN wrote an article where he listed the 10 team, or the top teams, I should say, that were the best fits for Brandon Sorsby, and Carolina was number 2. Number two. There was enough buzz that I was like, all right, let's think about it. All right. If maybe I'm missing something, let's go get the notebook. Let's do the pros and cons, right? There's no reason not to be thorough. I'm on my Eric Tolsky stuff, Canes GM. If someone's available, I'm going to ask about it. I'm going to make the call. I don't get it. I did the thinking, right? I sat down. I tried to look at it from a bunch of different angles. I don't get why suddenly Carolina is a real Brandon Sorsby interested party or good fit. Because here's the thing. If they weren't all in on Bryce Young, I would get it. But every bit of action that they've had has told me that for this year, they're all in on Bryce Young. And the thing is, they might use a 2027 pick on a quarterback if they learned this season that they are not all in on Bryce Young, right? If they give him a new play caller and they give him another third-round wide receiver and they give him another year and they give him all of this and they give him the benefit of having a good playoff game and they run it out there and he doesn't do well, I'm not saying there's a 0% chance they could use a 2027 pick on a quarterback. Matter of fact, if it goes bad enough, it could be a high 2027 pick on a quarterback. But why would you do that before you've decided you're out on Bryce? Because that's what you'd be doing. You'd be drafting the quarterback with a pick in 2027 before you get the benefit of the full year of information from Bryce Young. And if you're drafting him to back up Bryce Young, if you're doing this because you're not super excited about Kenny Pickett or whatever, then I mean, you're not going to put in the pick in the supplemental draft that'll get the player. Right? If it's a first-round talent and you're going like, man, I'll give him a 7th or a 6th, somebody else will give – I mean, a lot of the predictions are second. I don't think it'll be that high. But if they're predicting second, third or fourth, like, you know what I mean? Somebody's going to be tantalized enough by the skill set that they go after him.
And there's also, you got to play the game in the sense of, because there's priority in the supplemental draft as well, because you're one of the 14 playoff teams. The Panthers, you're lower in priority. So if you're anticipating teams would give up a third-round pick to get him, well, then you would have to give up a second to try and leapfrog those teams because they have higher priority, again, depending on what teams go for him. But Lord knows Cleveland will probably go after a quarterback, because why not? But does some of the names that, or some of the teams that Mike Tannenbaum just mentioned, like does Atlanta has priority over you? Does a team like Pittsburgh? So again, there's different things you got to juggle if you really want to go all in on this.
There are a bunch, not a bunch because there's only so many teams in the league. But if you truly are if you're hard up at the quarterback position, it's a dart throw, right? It's a lotto ticket with a very high jackpot prize, right? Because you could have your guy, but you don't do that if you're you're doing all right, right? If you're making good business at the quarterback position, you don't make those moves. Do you know why? Because once you have your quarterback, you still need to have a really good rest of your roster to achieve the goals that you want to have, and those picks are where you can build up that roster. So I guess there's two teams that I think would be interested. One team would be, as you mentioned, Cleveland, right? Or Indianapolis, if they aren't convinced Daniel Jones is the guy for a long term. Or we could go on and on down the list of the teams that don't have great quarterback options. The Jets, those teams are one thing. What's the risk of taking, or what's the issue with taking the risk? The other would be teams that seemingly have everything. Green Bay, right? Because why not take the lotto ticket? You don't need that pick for anything. You got a defense that's highly paid and pretty good. You just paid some wide receivers. Your quarterback is paid. Like, you have a really good roster already. You can go like, hey, I can't pass up a deal. I've got the expendable income. Yeah, I'll throw a couple dollars on it. It's like investing in a startup. You can be an angel investor. Maybe it goes gangbusters. Maybe it doesn't. It won't hurt you. The Panthers are none of those. So if you want to put in the all they can do is say no, super lowball offer, you're looking at a house, it's worth $400,000, and you're like, no, we'll offer $175 just in case they're that desperate to move. Like, you want to go throw the 7th rounder in there and go, fine, go for it. But expect to get like a strongly worded no from the selling real estate agent. You know what I mean? Expect them to go, we already have offers in the 4th round. I don't get it why the Panthers would be this team that everybody is pointing to. And that's not because I believe in Bryce Young so much, but it's because you believed in Bryce Young up till now enough. Like, if you were interested in quarterback, take one in the draft. I don't know what would have changed between then and now.
I think it also is an opportunity for you to sit there and say, let's say Dan Morgan looks and say, hey, you know what? This guy actually has the talent that fits what we want. And there was just no one eligible for us to take at pick 19 in this past year's draft. Now it's our chance to do it. If you feel like it could be an upgrade, you could potentially flip Bryce, get something back, and then take. If you feel like that's the case,
you'd have to. Yes,
you have to have a lot of conviction to make that move.
I was going to say, let me ask or like point out the obvious, which is if you do your due diligence and your offensive minds look at you and say, this dude is a star. And then you do your due diligence and your people evaluators look at you and say, this dude is not at risk for placing a bet on the NFL.
There's that too.
And then you put your talent evaluators out there and say, this dude is not going to be scooped up by anyone else for an exorbitant price in the supplemental draft. If all three of those things happen, yeah, then you do it. But I don't anticipate that happening. But I guess we should leave the door just cracked a little bit for that kind of conviction from Dan Morgan and his crew.
By the way, the supplemental draft isn't until the end of July, if I remember correctly, right? So you're into training camp.
Yes. I mean, I don't think anybody would be drafting him like, hey, we need a starter at week 1.
No.
It's just basically a way to make sure if somebody is in his situation where they're suddenly not able to play college football, they don't have to just sit for a year. They can jump in the league and just be a player on a roster for a while.
What would you give up?
I mean,
what round pick would you be comfortable giving up for him?
If my scouts were pretty convicted, 6th. I'm not giving up a mid-round pick. I'd have to give up a pick that I'm already assuming we're going to get not much for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to watch more. I haven't watched a ton. I know he's a good runner. I've watched a few highlight films, but everybody looks good in their highlight film.
Sure.
I haven't watched a full break it down, all 22 footage of him. But you have your guy. You have Bryce. And if you don't, the 2027 draft is not a bad draft for quarterbacks, at least not from early expectations. If this were last draft where people were really worried about who was good at quarterback, it'd be different. But there'll be other options. If you want a quarterback after this year, I think you'll be able to find one. It's not like this past draft. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm sure you can find a market to trade on somehow in there on who will be the quarterback of all these teams on Kalshi. So let me tell you a little bit more about Kalshi. The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. For example, let me give you some numbers here. You can trade on the stage of elimination for the USA, meaning how far will they make it? And if you pick the exact round that they are eliminated, you can make some money off it. For example, if you think they make it to the round of 32 and no further, that is trading at 30%, which means a $100 trade would pay out over $300 if it happens. But one of the beauties of Kalshi is that that's not the only way you can make money. If the probabilities change. So the United States plays well, and now all of a sudden the round of 32 is a more likely elimination round for them, and the probability goes up. You could trade out right there from the market. You don't have to wait to see if it actually happens. As long as the probability goes up, you can move out. And if the probability goes down and you're like, I should cut my losses, you can trade out of that as well. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position as you see fit. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD. That's a little special something from me. TIMD with no spaces, the code at sign up, and you will get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. We'll be back here on The Drive with some pretty fun Brind'Amour audio. He's making the rounds We'll play it for you next.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. Join me and my co-host Chris Lee from WRAL TV as our podcast Panthers Playbook rolls on this offseason, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Carolina Panthers news as we break down the NFL draft, insights on free agents and prospects, plus all the inside information on the offseason. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Accidents happen, and they can happen at any age. That's why Chapel Hill Family and Cosmetic Dentistry provides complete everyday dental care for your entire family, from the littlest athlete to adults ready for a healthier, more confident smile.
Oh, nice.
Dr. James Ferguson and his team are here for everything from routine care and cleanings to advanced treatments, so everyone can enjoy a strong, healthy smile. Schedule your visit today at chapelhilldds.com.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners, and we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
If you're exhausted, not just tired, but worn down, this message is for you. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Across North Carolina, many people wait months, sometimes over a year, just to start sleep care. That wait isn't normal, and it isn't necessary. At Parkway, most patients are seen within weeks, with virtual consultations and home sleep studies that remove unnecessary delays. Sleep care shouldn't have to depend on how long you're willing to wait.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-746-0155. That's 800-746-0155. 800-746-0155.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now the face-off at center ice. Net still empty for Vegas. And now here's a turnover. A chance for Ehlers. Bingo! 3-0 Carolina. And you can start to polish the Stanley Cup. The Canes right now are 68 seconds away from winning their second NHL title.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Carolina Hurricanes remain Stanley Cup champions, and they're going to celebrate with a big bash. Everybody's invited on Saturday. It's called a parade. Join 99.9 The Fan Saturday morning for complete coverage of the Canes Stanley Cup Championship Parade. Our pre-parade broadcast starts at 10, live from Taverna Agora on Hillsborough, and we will have the latest parade updates, the highlights. We'll hear from fellow fans and cheer on your champions as they take the main stage. Championship Parade coverage on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Parkway Sleep Health Centers in Cary. Sound sleep, sound health. I also want to remind everybody, if you are considering joining the parade and you want to know routes, you want to know times, you want to know details, 999thefan.com has all of them, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app. So I'm not just going to sit here and read like they're going to take a left on. No, I'm not just going to give you all of that, but it is that detailed on 99.9 The Fan. Probably easier with visual and maps and everything anyway. So 999thefan.com, 99.9 The Fan app for all of your parade details. Now, you know what I'm really looking forward to? Rod Brind'Amour's speech at the parade. Because I think he gives us sometimes like the grumble coach speak stuff. But if you go back and throughout time, look at the opportunities where he's been like a guy at the podium, like when he's going into the Flyers Hall of Fame or whatever, he brings the juice a little bit. He's got some public speaking chops. And when he has just, perhaps 100,000 people waiting to go nuts, waiting to go bananas at everything he says, I think he's going to bring a little something. And we know we're going to get the juice from like Martinook and Delorier and whoever else can just scream into a mic. But I think Rod's going to have something special for us. And maybe he's warming up because he's going around. He's making the media tour post Stanley Cup win, right? He's done our network, which we played some audio for you yesterday. But he's also jumped on with McAfee, with Eisen, with a few others. And there's some audio we want to play for you. So we'll start with some of the audio from the Pat McAfee show. Rod Brind'Amour, who, by the way, talks to Pat McAfee the way – there's no disrespect to Rod, and I know he is of the generation, like, previous to mine, a little older. He does have some of, like, my parents on FaceTime vibes where the camera's, like, real close and he's kind of looking down on it. He jumps on with McAfee, and he's doing the Zoom thing. He's got the baseball hat on looking like Rod, and he talked about his players and maybe their ability to take criticism, which is something he knows about them. So here's Rod Brind'Amour talking about his players and their thick skin.
Be honest, just keeping it real. That's nothing you guys weren't saying. Like it's pretty obvious. They're our best guys, and yeah, they're working hard and they're doing it. But if we want to win this thing, they got to contribute. They're playing all the special times out there, and they love it. These guys, what's special is the good players want to be coached. They want to be pushed. They want to be told real stuff, not sugarcoat stuff. So that's just how we operate every day on a daily basis, which what makes our team special. We don't have a 120-point guy. We don't have, I don't think we had a guy in the top 20 in points. We didn't have an all-star. We didn't have, you go down the list, there's nothing, right? But guess what we have is we got a team. And hockey is the greatest team sport going because you rely on everyone. And, there's no knock on any other sport. I'd say football is probably the next closest thing because the best players in football don't play the whole game. They're playing half. Hockey, the best players are playing a third of the game. And so you need everybody if you want to win in hockey. And that's kind of the way we always do it. So we treat everyone the same. If you're dogging it, you're going to know about it. And everyone likes that because, listen, that's just getting you better. And I think that's just how we roll here, and obviously it worked this year.
As he's like, good players love to be coached hard, as if like Rod Brind'Amour's Rod Brind'Amour. Do you think his players had a chance or had a choice? Right? Do you think if the good players were like, actually, I would like to be coddled a little bit? Like, no. If you're a Cane and you're a Cane for more than a little bit of time, I think you're gonna fall in line. And to be completely clear, he does all of the things to make that possible, okay? Every player, when they talk about Rod Brind'Amour, they call him the hardest worker in the room. You can be, and I've learned this experience in locker rooms, not at the NHL level, not the professional level, but at college, high school, beyond. You can be significantly more demanding and significantly more critical of anyone who doesn't work as hard as you. If you are there before they get there and you are there after they leave and you are sweating more and you are working more and you are moving more weight and you're doing more reps and you're helping others more and you are critical of someone, you can get away with a lot more than reverse.
And Rod doesn't ask anything of his players that he himself didn't do.
And I think he still does most of it.
Yeah.
Or still would do, right? He can't, double shift anymore just because that's not his role. But he would. He would, and he'd be able to, conditioning-wise. Let's hear more from Rod on McAfee. Let's go to the personal training regimen because we're talking about Rod and we're talking about not asking anyone to do anything that he wouldn't do. You knew Pat McAfee would ask this. He asked about the personal training regimen for Rod Brind'Amour now, and this is what he said.
Well, I'm on the executive plan now, right? Like my workouts are not like that. I was training back then for a reason, right? I was trying to be badass. I had a job. Now I'm just trying to stay alive. I'm trying to just hang. I'm trying to hang with the boys. We do physical testing every year. We're pretty renowned for that. And listen, if the old guy here can keep up and keep, I'm not saying I'm the top of the food chain in testing, but if I can do it, there's no reason why these guys can't do it. And so that's been a big deal. And I just think it's a mental edge. I don't think everybody's in shape. This is pro sports. Everybody works hard, but when you think that you're the top of the food chain in that department, it just gives you an edge. And I think that's kind of part of our group. And I guess you saw Jordo there, like that guy's 37 years old. You just hadn't talking about Messi being 38. Like, it's just a number. If you stick with it, and Jordan Stahl every day comes to work and just says, "Hey, I'm doing the best I can." Good things can happen. So that's I don't do anything special. To me, it's you get up in the morning, you start your day the right way, and that's get after it. That's kind of how I've been since probably 12 years old, and no reason to stop that, because I know if you don't get up and do it, you're not doing it.
If you don't get up and do it, you're not doing it. I like that. He, by the way, is not exactly the same, but there's a similar thought process. Every once in a while, my wife will, because my wife met me when I was still playing college football. Occasionally she'll hit me with like, "Do you remember?" And she'll say something like, "Your muscles look like this," or whatever. And I go like, "Yeah, but I want you to know something. I was not working out to look the way I did. I was working out for a reason. Like if I had abs, it was because I wanted to be able to get hit by a defensive back or defensive end and not fumble, right? If I had biceps, it was because I wanted to be able to hold on to the football or whatever. I was working out with a purpose, which is kind of what he was saying, right? When he had a job, he was working out to be a great hockey player. I don't have the same motivation to be in the gym for 2 hours a day the way I did back then, because I'm like, if I have to work as hard as I have to work to get abs, I'm never going to be hit by the defensive end, and I'm never going to need that core stability. He doesn't appear, he's like, I used to work out for a reason. Now the executive plan looks like it's just as tough as what are you doing? Did anything change about the way you worked out?
I can't handle his executive plan, that's for darn sure.
The executive plan's supposed to be like, I hop on the elliptical, I do a little shoulders, maybe some curls, and I get out of there.
I'm thinking kettlebells today, feeling good.
Yeah. You roll out the mat, you turn on your favorite songs, and you do some leg flutters. He's not on the executive plan that I'm aware of. Kind of crazy. Let's get one more here from Rod before we move on. Let's go to the Rich Eisen show. He was asked this question a whole bunch, and he answered it slightly differently to each person that asked. But he was asked by Rich Eisen, is it different winning it as a coach or winning it as a player? Which is kind of a baller question because he's done both. This is what Rod had to say.
It is different. And, as a player, man, my whole life growing up, listen, that's all I wanted to do was win the Stanley Cup. So since I was 5 years old, put skates on, I'm like, I want the cup, and I wanted it kind of for me, like I was obviously my teammates and everything, but it was like, I got to win this thing. And obviously we did in 2006. And then as a coach now, you want that, how great a feeling this is, and what it does for you. It changes your life. And so you want it for the guys you're coaching. Like you want them to have that feeling. And is kind of watching it through different eyes and a lot more gratitude for it. Like you're I don't know, it's more rewarding to actually want it for other people, and it's kind of like watching your kids, whatever they do, you're proud of them and you want them to excel. And that's kind of was for me, sitting back behind the bench, just watching these guys and just extremely happy that they are, able to accomplish their dream.
Yeah, I bet whichever one is most recent feels like the better one, meaning like, I loved it for these guys. Somewhere like Eric Cole's like, what? You didn't love it for me too? They're different. I don't pretend to know how he feels about it, but I'm sure he loves this one a whole bunch right now, and he's going to celebrate the heck out of it at that parade. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Why don't we go ahead and make a little jump here, Dennis? Let's. I think it's important now that the Canes season is over that it's like a fish that you've brought home from the pet store. You got to take a little bit of the aquarium water, put it in, and you got to assimilate it. Right? Pretty soon we're going to be talking a lot of Carolina Panthers, but I don't want to go cold turkey on you. I don't just want to flip everything. So we're taking little scoops of Carolina Panthers, putting it into the show. So we're going to do a Carolina Panthers version today of Cons and Cons.
You need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
We are less than 50 days, 49 days, until the first preseason game for the Carolina Panthers when they take on Arizona in the Hall of Fame game. So with 49 days till they are in the preseason, what are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Panthers? As always, when you have good news and bad news, I'll take the bad news first. We'll start with the concerns. Dennis, lead us off. What are you most concerned about?
I'm concerned that a number 3 receiver won't fully emerge at the beginning of the season. And the reason why I say that is I'm curious to see what Xavier Legette, what he did this offseason in terms of get himself right. Because we know who 1 and 2 are. It's McMillan and Coker. T-Mac and Jalen Coker. We know that. Can Chris Brazzell get a hold of the number 3 wide receiver? Can Xavier Legette take a hold of that number 3 wide receiver? That's my question going forward is how much can Brad Isaac trust his number 3 receiver at the beginning of the year?
I don't hate the move, although part of me does think if the offense is working the way they want it to, I don't know how many pass catchers they actually need, as long as they have enough just to keep a defense honest. But that is irrelevant to my concern. My concern is offensive depth.
Interesting.
How many players on the offense are the type that if they were to break a thumb, tweak a hammy, and miss 4 weeks, it would be like, oh, what are you going to do for these next 4 weeks? Obviously, you could throw Bryce Young in there. Chuba, right? Because then suddenly you're looking at Jonathan Brooks and going like, hey, you're a workhorse even though you haven't played football in 2 years. Tetairoa McMillan, Jalen Coker, because both those guys are going to have to make plays for your offense. I think the guards would probably be pretty. If Lewis or Hunt went down again, and Hunt obviously missed a lot of time last year, that'd be pretty worrisome. Like, there's a lot of guys on offense that if they get hurt, I'd go, yeez. Maybe even Moton. I don't like. There's a lot of guys. On defense, I think for the most part, you have somebody you could feel kind of confident in outside of like the superstars. But that offensive depth, I think, is a little worrisome. And that just happens when, you spend your free agency money on defense and, still use a good portion of your draft picks on defense and all of that. It just hits the offensive depth a little bit. So I'm a little worried about offensive depth. Let's get to the more fun part. Let's get to the confidence. Dennis, what are you most confident in when it comes to the Carolina Panthers?
My confidence going forward is the fact that Dave Canales is putting the team above himself. And the reason why I say this is because I think him actually having an overarching view of the team as a whole, not solely focused or most of his attention going to the offense and, just talking with Bryce Young mostly. He is interacting with everyone, which I think is going to raise the level of play. And I think it's just going to raise the level of, I guess you say the level of performance from the coaching staff as well, because now I'm going to get that individual input in practice from the head coach. I think you're going to get a greater output from both players and staff with Dave Canales being around all over the place.
He's going to have, and he probably already has some of them that he can't wait to break out, some great one-liners.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he's never been able to walk up to the defense after a tough 12-play drive. They were out there in the heat, and they forced a turnover at their own 30. He's never been able to walk up to him and hit him with the, way to be the hammer, not the nail. Like, he's never been able to walk up and hit him with the coach speak because he's always had to be calling plays for the offense. Now he gets to go hit him with some words of wisdom. He gets to go hit him with a little coach speak, a little pearl of wisdom, get him a little motivated. And he seems like the type of guy that would like that sort of thing. And his capris, gelled hair, walking over there hitting him with some hard work stuff. My confidence is very simple. I'm calling it the top of the defense. You'd call it the elite guys on the defense. It's Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, Merrick, Phillips, Lloyd. To be a great defense, I think you need a handful of elite, just pure talent. Like, not just the hard workers, not just the guys you trust, but guys that the offense points out every play, right? Like Jalen Phillips, now that you brought him in and paid him good money, your offensive tackles, when they break the huddle, are going to look for him. You know what I mean? Devin Lloyd, not just identifying the mic like, the cliche, and 55 the mic, but also he can get his hand on the ball, right? He is somebody who the quarterback has to know where he is. Obviously, the guys in the secondary, meaning J.C. Horn, Derek Brown, dude, right? Like, you have to know who you're double teaming when you're double teaming them. Those are the guys I think that will make it. Like, there will be plays that offenses can't run or are leery to call because of each of those guys. Where it's like, that's normally in our playbook, but we can't do it because I don't know if we can reach block Derek Brown. Right? We can't do that because we need that tight end to chip Jalen Phillips. Like, they will take things out of the playbook. And if you look at the best Panther defenses, they've had a handful of those guys. Right? A handful of guys that are being identified pre-snap. So those 5 names, I think, are the most they've had in at least a few years. No disrespect to the players they've had, but when you add Devin Lloyd, you add Jalen Phillips, and you don't really lose any of your top dudes, that's why you bring in those guys, and that's why you paid them so much darn money in free agency. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please, out there, you listening, I'm talking directly to you, pal. You. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. While you're there, check out the videos. If you're a Panthers fan and you're just loving Panthers cons and cons, go check out some Panther talk. We have Panthers podcasts. We have Panthers segments from this show. We have a ton of Panthers content. If you're still riding high off the Canes win, they won the Stanley Cup. I guarantee you will not be left in any kind of a desert where there's no Canes content. There's plenty of it. It's all on 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. While you're checking out the content, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, set alerts, and then tell a friend about it. That's what we're asking you to do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of those YouTube comments, we have a feedback frenzy where we'll hear many of your own inputs from the live chats and everything on YouTube. But before we get there, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 250-2146. And they want you to lock in your mortgage, to refi, to set up yourself long-term when it comes to the investment in your house with no closing costs and fees. Yeah, that's right. No closing costs and fees. No cost, they don't rename them as well. Sometimes you see that, right? It's like, no costs. Well, we have surcharges now. No, it's not repackaged. It's not repurposed. It's not recycled. No cost. It's right there. They're the home of the no-cost loan. It says it in the name. So give them a call and ask questions, right? You may be skeptical. How do they do that? That can't be possible. Call and ask questions. They would love to give you the answers and explain how it can help you get a lower monthly payment. The number to call, you need that if you're going to call and ask questions. I should tell you. It's 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that is millerlending.com. Once again, Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We'll be back after this feedback frenzy on The Drive.
Move your sports day forward.
Championships are rare, and you'll always remember June 14, 2026, when rare became reality for you and the Carolina Hurricanes. Remember the feeling when the clock hit 0 and you high-fived the person next to you. The feeling, multiply it by 1,000,000. That's the collective I told you so from Caniac Nation to every non-believer.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes on an amazing season and for bringing home the 2026 Stanley Cup. We are so proud of our team. From Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, visit deepriversportingclays.com.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. There's nothing quite like a North Carolina summer, unless of course your air conditioning decides to stop working. If your AC isn't blowing cold, is making strange noises, or just isn't keeping up with the heat, now's the time to have it checked. This month, take advantage of our summer AC special, save $40, and let our ASC certified technicians make sure you're ready for the hottest days of the year. Schedule your appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Experience legendary craftsmanship with an Omega timepiece. From the iconic Speedmaster that journeyed to the moon to the sleek Seamaster made famous by the world's most stylish spy, Omega watches are built for precision, adventure, and timeless elegance. At Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District, explore a curated selection of Omega timepieces that speak to your legacy. Whether you're starting a collection or adding your next chapter, find your perfect fit at Bailey's, voted best jeweler. Visit BaileyBox.com to learn more.
Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes, winners of the 2026 Stanley Cup. They fought hard all year and have reached the top. Great work on an incredible season. Brought to you by Smith Anderson Law Firm, where winning performance meets over a century of trusted counsel.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina.
Here comes Gostisbehere into the Vegas zone. Drops here for Aho. Back to Gostisbehere. He's going to set it up. Side of the net. They score! Tick, tack, toe! Andrei Svechnikov's second power play goal. And it puts Carolina up 4-1 in Game 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to get to many of your thoughts, something we call a feedback frenzy, in just 1 minute, because I have to update you on the U.S. Open. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the U.S. Open. Here's the current leaderboard presented by McConnell Golf. Into the lead, or I should say a boatload of guys tied for the lead. You ready for this? Sam Stevens, Ryder Cohen, Preston Stout. Cohen and Stout, you ready for this? Amateurs. So if they win, they don't even get the millions of dollars in prize money. But they are just through 6 and 4 holes. But 2 under par, and they are tied for first. Somebody in their family should take a picture of the leaderboard. Aaron Rai, Bryson DeChambeau, Wyndham Clark, and Xander Schauffele are all also tied for the lead at 2 under par. Sam Stevens is in the clubhouse, so he's finished for the day. Everybody else that I just mentioned in that top group, not through more than 6 holes. Other notables that are near the top, Rory McIlroy, he was in the lead, 3 under par, fumbled a few down the stretch. He is in the clubhouse, done for the day, 1 under par, as is Ludwig Aubert, as is Max Gracerman, a Duke golfer in his college days, and other big names. Shane Lowry is 1 under par just through 2 holes. Billy Horschel is 1 under par through 1. If you want the rest of the local guys, I'll give them to you quickly. Gracerman, as I mentioned, from Duke, tied for 8th, 1 under par. Michael Brennan, a Wake Forest former golfer, he is even through 4, tied 17th. Alex Smalley, Duke guy, through 3, even par, tied 17th. Wake Forest, Alex Fitzpatrick, 1 over par. He's done for the day, tied for 40th. There's more below that. That is our U.S. Open update on 99.9 The Fan, teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina. And now, a feedback frenzy. What do you got for us, Dennis?
All right, so here on our YouTube live chat, someone actually mentioned earlier today, because we had a conversation about the Carolina Hurricanes and a lot of people trying to downplay their accomplishment of winning a Stanley Cup.
Yes.
This one comes from Steve. Steve says, guys, the Canes were 29-3. 20 wins, 9 losses in regulation, 3 overtime/shootout losses against the Western Conference. I feel it wouldn't have mattered who they played in a 7-game series.
I don't necessarily disagree. I wish. Actually, no, I don't. I wouldn't change anything about it. But until you see it, there will be those haters. And by the way, this is the crazy part. Let's say the Canes faced Tampa in the first round. And I'm the NHL format is different. Buffalo in the second round, Montreal in the third round, and Colorado in the Stanley Cup final. You know what people would be saying?
Best run ever.
Ottawa was actually the hottest team after the Olympics, and the Canes didn't even have to face Ottawa. Vladar was the hottest goalie in the postseason, and the Canes, luckily, they avoided him. Oh, look at this Mickey Mouse title. They would make something up to discredit it anyway because, Carolina happens to play somewhere where it's warm. That's all it is. It's I don't know. People don't like the Canes for whatever reason. I particularly think it's ridiculous. What else you got?
All right, so this one comes from our conversation along the same lines yesterday we had about, who cares if the Carolina Hurricanes had an easy path to a cup win because they still won a cup. This one actually comes from Carrie. Carrie, she says this. Many hockey experts/insiders were picking the Canes' opponents to win. Then they turn around and say Canes had it easy? Also, as stupid as this sounds, Canes would have been given more credibility if we went into playoffs as an 8th seed and had the exact same record. And saying these Canes haters are just mad because they can't use the same storyline for 7 years.
I agree with a lot of that. I will say the Flyers series, almost nobody picked the Flyers. It felt like people were picking the Flyers because they were picking Canes in 6 or 7 when the Flyers, I think it was pretty obvious, were not at the level of the Canes. Ottawa, a lot of people were picking Ottawa. Montreal, a lot were picking Montreal. The Flyer series, not everybody. So, if we're going to call people out for, changing history, we just got to make sure we're accurate with our histories. But no, I completely agree with you that everybody looked at it and went here's the real challenge. Can the Canes really do this? Every single round, and the Canes mowed down everybody until Vegas. And even Vegas, once they figured it out, they mowed them down the last 3. So it's a really dominant postseason run. I think history will look back on it, and we won't remember, the expected goals in the first half of the regular season for their opponents was X, Y, and Z. I think we'll look at it and we'll say that was a really good team that ran through an entire Stanley Cup playoff.
All right, this one comes from Snowbird Bum.
Okay.
It's on the YouTube live chat along the same conversation about the Canes. Snowbird Bum 14 says this. Going 16-3 against just the Maple Leafs in consecutive games over 2 months would have been impressive, let alone the top half of the league.
I like the energy. I don't care. Why? Here's another point, and it's a similar point to what was just made by that commenter. Snow Bunny Bum, is that what it was?
Snowbird
Bum.
Easy there on the Snow Bunny.
Nah, just trying to remember what you said. Similar point to that one. Here's the nobody had gone sweep through the first 2 rounds since they expanded to 7-game series. The Canes were the first. You don't think anybody since, 87? Is that when it expanded? I think so, 86 or 87. Nobody since the 80s had faced two not great teams. They're the only one, or did a bunch of other good teams face, and I'm not even agreeing that they are not great teams. I'm saying let's pretend your assumption is true. Nobody faced bad teams through the first two rounds? Or were there a bunch of good teams that faced bad teams and they couldn't go sweep because it's really hard to win 8 straight games against anybody in the NHL, especially when you're playing them like in series fashion. You're playing 4 games against the same team, so they get to adjust and figure you out. It's really impressive, as the commenter said. And also, I like a little, good shot across the bow at Toronto there, which is, good ricochet shot. So take that.
All right, yesterday we had a conversation about the Carolina Hurricanes and potential differences that we could actually see next season. As much as guys are under contract, there's still potential that there could be some changes this offseason. This one comes from Hippie Child. Hippie Child says this: if you move Alexander Nikishin, you got to bring back a bona fide top 4 defenseman with term, or a bona fide top 6 forward, ideally a center, maybe Robert Thomas or Dylan Larkin. That said, would prefer keeping Alexander Nikishin on a bridge deal. If he doesn't develop the skating, then you move him before he's commanding the sun and moon for a contract.
I might not word it the same, but I agree. If you move him, you need to get back big time value, right? Top 4 defenseman with term, or top pair defenseman with the opportunity to pay him big money. It's everything is a sliding scale as far as if the player is really, really good, I might say, okay, we'll get here and we'll figure out a contract. If the player is really good but not elite, then it's okay, he better come with not only term but reasonable term on average annual value. I'm a sliding scale on how you get to the value. But if you move Alexander Nikishin, you better get a lot of value back. Top 6 forward, fine. A lot of value is the return. And then Eric Tulsky gets to decide how and where it's dispersed. And I'm not, I want to be clear on this. I'm not pro moving really anyone on the roster, but definitely not Alexander Nikishin. I'm somebody that bets on physical ability as long as they buy in. And it appears as if he's bought in, and it definitely appears as if he has physical ability. I buy in on guys like that and bet on my staff to develop them into what I want them to be. So I'm not pro moving Alexander Nikishin. But when you look at the roster, there's he's the only one that doesn't have a long-term contract, it seems. So he's going to have a lot of the conversation centering around him. That's what we were doing the other day.
All right, one final one here real quick. This one actually comes from that same conversation about changes for next year. This one comes from Wandier. Wandier says this: do what teams used to do, or what some teams have done in the past, after a winning season. Add. The worst thing to do is to stand still and make no changes.
The difficulty with that, this is one of those things where somebody says he's a top 5 center in the league, and I go, all right, I'm gonna list 5 names and you have to tell me which one's not in it for so and so. You know what I mean? Okay, add. Right now, everybody could return, right? You could return every single forward, every single defenseman on the roster. So if you add somebody, who's being replaced? And keep in mind, if you add a stud, they aren't going to go, yeah, it's cool, I'll take 4th line. They're going to expect to be, for the most part, without knowing exactly who you're talking about, they're going to expect to be skating top line minutes or top 6 forward minutes. They're going to expect to have power play opportunities. They're going to expect to have, whatever it is they do be utilized. So you can't just go hey, add, without also saying, if you add this person, here's the person that's not in the lineup every day, and here's the person that gets bumped down, or here's the person that gets knocked off power play 1, or right, whatever it is. Like, if Dylan Larkin shows up, there are 4 centers right now that a lot of people like on the Canes. You got to say which one's gone, and you got to say which one's being moved down, or you got to say which one's being moved to winger. And right now, if you suggest Logan Stankoven, it's even a possibility he moves to wing, Canes fans will come for you, as I've learned. And it's not even like a suggestion of should. It's just, if you just say he has the ability to, he can play winger, people get mad at you. I'm like, what? What are we doing
how
here?
Things were different 3 months ago.
Yeah, what are we doing here? So it's one of, like, you gotta finish the thought is all I'm saying. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to everybody that participates, that jumps in on our YouTube comments, all of our social medias. We really do appreciate the back and forth, which is why we do things like Feedback Frenzy. Up next here on The Drive, starting 5, including a championship parade. Today, stick around.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
After 20 years, the wait is over.
5 seconds away. Played out. And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup. It's yours, Carolina.
Such a great story with this team. I mean, you dig into it, it's amazing, and I'm just really proud.
Your official home for the Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
A bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
June is Men's Health Month, and WakeMed encourages you to get a PSA blood test. Starting at age 45, men should be screened every 2 years. You may need to start earlier if you have a higher risk for prostate cancer or a family history of the disease. A simple blood test checks the level of PSA or prostate-specific antigen in your blood. If levels are elevated, your doctor may recommend additional screening. For more information, visit wakemed.org. That's wakemed.org.
Yeah, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Handy Hugo's, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized, hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper. They're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bo Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's Bo time.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Some much-needed rain is finally on the way from the remnants of a tropical system. Tonight, lows dip into the mid-70s. We'll see a round of rain move in overnight and into the early part of the day Friday. That could impact the Friday morning commute, but we dry out for the afternoon with a high near 90.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell up 72 points today to 51,564.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five. And as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but I'm big on controlling expectations. Okay, I feel bad when somebody is like, I don't know, expecting 400 people at a party and it's like 200 show up, right? You're 50% disappointed, but 200 people's a great party. The Knicks, meaning the New York Knicks, NBA champions, are having their parade today. Canes fans, just be aware, 53 years is a long time for a city like New York to wait for an NBA championship, and they're going to go bananas. Their numbers will be a little bit higher. It's going to be a different vibe. They're going to have a lot of people there. New York's a big city. Watch it. I would say there's going to be some things you can laugh at. There's going to be it's. Dennis, you can appreciate this because you're doing the wedding planning thing. I don't know if you've done this, but when I was engaged, you might have to go to a wedding or two while you're engaged. Suddenly you become a real observer, and you're just thinking we should do that, we should not do that. Mm-hmm. Make sure we hadn't thought of that. What were they thinking with that? You do that throughout the whole wedding. There could be some of that going on watching the Knicks parade today, right? Oh, look at that. They started a really cool chant. We should do that. Or, oh, look at that. They did this for the players. That's cool. Oh, that's a funny sign. Maybe we can twist it and make a similar phrase and make everybody laugh with a sign for the Canes. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, they climbed a pole in the middle of the street and tore it down. And now the police are involved. And, oh, we shouldn't do that. Yeah, no, that's not something we should do. You can watch the Knicks parade and kind of get some do's and don'ts. Oh, that vendor, that's a good one. Oh, this one we shouldn't call. That was a good DJ. There's things you can do there. But also, I guess I'm happy for Knicks fans. 53 years is a long time.
Yeah, don't compare yourself with your Canes fans to that. Just don't. We're getting to the Canes parade and stuff here in a little bit, but I know you have a city of 8.5 million people, whatever it is, that they're in New York. Obviously, Raleigh's not as big of a city. That's totally okay, though. Doesn't mean that your passion and energy should be getting less.
And let me add this. Maybe I'm getting old. I'd rather have a party with people I know, people rather than just I'm done with the days where you get the noise complaint because you have 7,000 people in a 1,400 square foot apartment. That's not me. I like to have more intimate gathering. Canes are going to have intimate, $150,000. That's my style. That's what I'm looking for. I don't need $1 million. I want an intimate $140,000 to my closest friends.
Yeah, they're estimating 100,000 or more people to attend. Now, typically this
is for the Canes.
For the Canes.
Yeah.
Now, typically the holiday parade right there a little after Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving typically draws anywhere between 65 to 80,000 people. So this is going to be even bigger than that. A lot of people are estimating this is actually going to be the biggest parade in Raleigh's history.
As it should be.
Darn right it should be.
They deserve it. As do the fans. That is number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Draws the double team, splits the double team, Pulisic in the box, Weston McKennie into the middle, it's an own goal! It's the United States on the board, less than 7 minutes in!
The World Cup is going on. Do you know what? It's going from the Stanley Cup playoffs to the World Cup. It feels like between every game there is that 11 days between the series that the Canes had. I got really used to, every day or two having another game to watch. And then the United States, the World Cup's been going on for a while. They've played once, and they don't play again until tomorrow. They play Australia tomorrow, 3 o'clock. So that's where the United States men's national team schedule is. But the World Cup is going on. There are games every day, different countries getting their action started. England beat Croatia yesterday. I'm told that was a pretty good win for England, 4-2. Portugal tied the Democratic Republic of the Congo, 1-1. I'm told that's kind of not great for Portugal. Today, I can give you some updates on what's going on. There was a 1-1 tie between Czechia and South Africa, and Switzerland beat Bosnia and Herzegovina. Did I get that right? Tried to. Canada will be starting up here in the not-too-distant future, about less than an hour against Qatar. And then Mexico and South Korea later tonight. World Cup action. If you're looking for stat leaders, again, most of these teams have only played one game. Actually, I think everybody's only played one game. Lionel Messi leads the way with 3 goals.
He does.
But in that group tied for second, Balogun, United States, 2 goals scored. The rest of the dudes are like, I'm not a soccer fan. A lot of the guys with 2 goals or more, I know. Lionel Messi, Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, Balogun, United States. Good company so far. Hopefully they can keep it rolling.
Yeah, we're starting to see countries play their second games. We're starting to see that now, like Czechia, South Africa played a second game. Switzerland and Bosnia, like you just mentioned, just played a second match as well. So we're starting to see countries get into their second matches, which is a lot of fun.
United States tomorrow will play our second.
It is a lot of fun seeing just the interactions of fans coming internationally into the United States and interacting with people from the States and just how much fun that they're having. There was like a bar up in Boston where a bunch of Scots, there were people from Scotland came, and they ran out of beer. It's like they ran out of beer because that's where Scotland, I guess their games are up there in Boston, which I was like, that's pretty awesome if you ask me. Like a bar ran out of beer and they had to get an emergency send more.
I mean, it's so stereotypical.
I know
that it's hilarious.
Yeah, they ran out of the Sam Adams Boston Lager. It's wonderful.
You'd like to think I'm not gonna pigeonhole them. I'm not gonna assume anything. They ran out of beer. I should have known. That's right there. There you go.
And seeing people go into a Costco for the first time, things like that. Like this place is massive. Or trying different food chain restaurants, that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun to see.
I mean, that's not why you do it, for the economic impact on the community and everything. But that's part of the cool part of having these worldwide events.
Sure.
I mean, it's actually a good, it's going to happen even bigger when the Olympics come through LA in the super not too distant future. So World Cup, Olympics, pretty bananas. And actually, I think the Olympics, obviously LA is going to be LA. In the future, I think they could learn from the World Cup. Because the World Cup isn't like LA. It's North America. And they have all these cool venues across everywhere that they're playing. I think it would be cool if the Olympics did that in America. Because then you could play basketball in Madison Square Garden. You could play soccer in Lambeau. You could go to all the cool venues and you could play golf at Augusta, right? You could do like all of our best venues for individual sports. Beach volleyball, Venice Beach. Kind of like what the World Cup is doing. They're getting all the cool venues all across the country, not just one city. But that's a question for another day. Just enjoy the World Cup. That is number 4. Let's get to number 3. So, the North Carolina Tar Heels baseball program, a.k.a. the Diamond Heels, have made it to the championship final of the College Baseball World Series, where they will take on Oklahoma starting 2 days from now. That's Saturday night, I believe, 8 p.m. You can hear that game right here on 99.9 The Fan. There will be a game 2. That'll be Sunday, again, all weather permitting in Omaha. You can hear that game 2, on 99.9 The Fan. And then, if necessary, because it's a best-of-3 series, if necessary, game 3 would be on Monday. And yeah, guess what? You could hear that game, if necessary, on 99.9 The Fan. I've mentioned this a bunch. The Carolina Tar Heels baseball program has done almost everything that a college baseball program can do. The thing that has eluded them is hoisting the final trophy, is winning the national championship. They've been really gosh darn close. Haven't quite done it. They have another opportunity, and they've put themselves in a really, really good situation. They are the betting favorite against Oklahoma. They've taken care of business for the most part without needing, super extra innings, without needing extra games, which has allowed them to hopefully keep the arms fresh, keep the bullpen fresh, and have everybody ready to rock when the action starts on Saturday. Oklahoma, it appears, I believe they also have done a pretty good job of that. So this is going to be best on best. This is going to be, no one's rolling in there looking at a relief pitcher going like, hey, we need 5 innings out of you. We need you to eat some innings here. This is everybody's going to have their full contingent, and may the best team win. And obviously here in the Triangle, I always root for the local teams. We're going for UNC.
Yeah, both teams have swept their way through to the finals.
Carolina is the 5th ranked team in the country. Oklahoma unranked.
UNC to win the entire College World Series is a minus 180 last time I checked to win on the betting line.
Caden Glauber is a freshman who should be, I don't know if should be is the right word, could be, if he didn't reclassify up at the end, a high school senior. He has a 1.93 ERA, leads the team in strikeouts with 106, has 11 wins, and a 2.17 ERA. Or sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, I guess as a starter he has a 1.3. 2.17 ERA overall. Still absolutely lighting it up.
He was ACC Freshman of the Year, correctly? And was first team All-ACC, if I remember correctly?
If anybody is above him as a Freshman of the Year, let me see him. I don't know. I don't have a memory of reading that he was Freshman of the Year, but I could guess. If anybody is better than him as a freshman in the ACC, let he stand forth and show me his stat line, because Glauber's a monster. Unless they gave him high school senior of the year in the ACC,
which makes sense
because he did reclassify up.
He was the freshman of the year in the ACC, and he was also a first team All ACC, actually as a relief pitcher,
which is crazy because he has 9 wins.
Yeah.
I guess some of those could have, and he did get a win during the since they've been in Omaha as out of the bullpen player through 2 and a 1/3, I think it was, against maybe West Virginia the first time they beat him. But still, he's a monster.
And Jason DeCaro, the starting pitcher for North Carolina, was first team All ACC as well.
11 wins, 2.31 ERA, 93 Ks. It's a good player as well. And we just talked about it earlier. Gallagher, their second baseman, got the Gold Glove. They've got Owen Hull, I believe it is lighting it up at the plate. 398 average.
Also first team All ACC.
Also a pretty good center fielder, I believe. He's got some wheels. So 85 RBI. They've got some dudes. I love how we're like, you're never going to guess this. The team that's the overwhelming betting favorite to win the national championship, they have good players. Let me tell you about them. Crazy, right? No, but it's Carolina. We're trying to celebrate them. They're knocking on the door of immortality. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
You can listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the U.S. Open. Here's the current leaderboard on day 1, presented by McConnell Golf. Leading the way now, he moved into a solo first. Amateur, Ryder Cohen. He is 3 under through 8. As I said, alone in first. It's early, a lot of golf left to play, but still a cool experience for the young man anyway. Sam Stevens is in the clubhouse, 2 under par. He is tied for second, along with a group of pretty accomplished golfers who are all very early in their round. The most that any of these guys have played are 5 holes. But tied for second, 2 under par, Bryson DeChambeau, Xander Schauffele, Wyndham Clark, and Billy Horschel. Fresh on their tails, a lot of guys at 1 under par that are done for the round. Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Aubert, Max Gracerman, who played his college golf at Duke, Brian Harmon. So this is still a very, very early major championship with a bunch of players, good players, that are well within striking distance of the lead. And I believe the U.S. Open, they're going to look at, right now there are 17 players under par. They're going to look at that and not enjoy that number. No. So they will do whatever they have to do with watering, not watering, rolling the greens, cutting the greens, pin placement, to make sure there are not 17 players under par at this time tomorrow.
Weren't a bunch of tee times delayed because of fog and stuff this morning, if I remember correctly?
They did get started a little late.
Yeah.
Which is why there's still so many players. I mean, it's 5 o'clock, and there are guys that are through 1 hole. Maybe some that even haven't even teed off yet. If they have all teed off, it's very, very recently. So there will be guys that have to finish tomorrow and then kick it into gear and play a marathon day. But we had the stat, right? Max Scoring gave it to us earlier this week. I think it was 634 players have participated in a U.S. Open at this course, at this club, Shinnecock, in New York, and 3 of them had finished the tournament under par. There's no way.
That's a wild stat.
There's no way they're going to let 17 be under par in this one alone. They'll go out there and start playing defense. You'll have shot blockers on the green if they need to make sure that doesn't happen. So the carnage will be, if you're bloodthirsty, the carnage will be there for you at the U.S. Open. U.S. Open updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina. What number was that? Was that 2? That is 2. Let's get to number 1.
The 1! For the first time on the road, the Carolina Hurricanes are delivering a Stanley Cup winning storm surge.
That was cool that they did that, by the way. Shout out to Martinook for getting that thing started. Join the 99.9 The Fan, that's us, Saturday morning for a complete coverage of the Canes Stanley Cup Championship Parade. Our pre-parade broadcast starts at 10, live from Taverna Agora on Hillsborough. We will have the latest parade updates, hear from fellow fans, and cheer on the champs as they take the main stage. Championship Parade coverage on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Parkway Sleep Health Centers in Cary. Sound sleep, sound health. Championship parades are, first of all, awesome. Let's just get out of the way. They're fun. They're a party. Good vibes, right? It's a very warm room. Secondly, they are a chance for you to, I'm not going to say hey, Sebastian Aho and you are going to be best friends. But when you're in a parade, I don't know if many of you have been in a parade. I did small town radio for a long time, which means I've been in a million parades with 50 people watching, right? There are more people in the parade with the homecoming float and the car that won the demo derby the night before and me in the station car. That's been the parade. But I've been in a bunch of parades, and what that means is what I'm getting at here is in a parade there's really nothing to do when you're in the parade but just kind of keep your head on a swivel and lock eyes with people and smile and clap and thumbs up. So, like, when you go to a hockey game, you ready for this? I'm going to break some news for you. The players have something else going on. They're pretty focused on winning a hockey game. You know what I mean? Even if after they score, they look up into the stands and take in the masses, they're not like looking at individuals. This is one of the few times where they're just kind of up there hanging out. They're talking with their buddies and they're looking at you. And right, you can cheer and you can scream and they'll interact. So 100,000 people. Maybe you have a few of them. If you have a good spot, you get there early enough. You put your chair down, you sit there, you hang out with your friends and family. You could have a few of them actually like acknowledge you, which is, I mean, especially for the kids out there. I can't imagine the teams I rooted for when I was like 10 or 11, 12 years old, if they won a championship, which I was not lucky enough to have happen, but if they won a championship and I was at the parade and like the guys that were if I was a Mets fan, if Mike Piazza looked at me and just gave me like a thumbs up, make my life.
I said life made.
Mike, I'd be telling you that story right now, like once a week. It would be incredible. Somebody out there, your kid's version of Mike Piazza to me is Sebastian Aho, is any of them, Keandre Miller, Jacob Slavin, like those guys are that. So try to make a memory. You know what I mean? Try to make a memory. They gave you a lot of memories. Maybe go make one more. And if you've been listening to any of the Rod Brind'Amour speeches, he's big on stacking memories.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the things, one of the like motifs, right? The themes that kept popping up as they went on their run through the regular season and then each series in the postseason was just keep stacking memories. Like, it was great when you won in overtime against Philly. That's a memory, but stack another one on top of it, right? Let's go make another memory in Game 2 against Montreal. Let's go make another memory and just keep doing it over and over and over. Maybe forget Game 1 against Montreal, but keep stacking the good memories, and you can put another one on the pile at the parade this Saturday.
Have fun at the parade, but be patient with each other. Be kind to each other, because we're all here to celebrate and enjoy it. So let's not ruin it for other people. You know, let's be honest when we talk about that. Like, let's not ruin it for other people. Let's have fun. Like, let's go enjoy this. It's a championship parade. Let's celebrate. Let's have fun doing it. Be patient with each other, especially when you're trying to get into Raleigh, because of the parking and everything like that, just trying to get in. They're expecting over 100,000 people in downtown Raleigh. It's going to be a blast.
Here would be my advice, and it's my advice for any event where it's not like invite only, where it's just people show up. Plan ahead. Get there early. However early you think you should get there, if you're going to be mad that you don't have the best seat, get there really early. Like make it, bring food. You know what I mean? Bring sustenance, have nourishment, bring a chair, bring friends that you don't mind sitting and talking with, so you're not there just waiting. It is a situation where the early bird gets the worm. So plan accordingly. And by the way, we have all the information on 999thefan.com, 999thefan app. Download it. That will tell you the route, will tell you the times, the streets, and everything else you need to plan accordingly. I would imagine, if you haven't done so already, like the restaurants on the route probably booked up because people are smart. And as soon as there's, they call ahead. So if you have that, great. Use it, utilize it. If you don't, find other ways. Don't get mad at somebody else because they prepared and you didn't, right? Don't get mad at somebody else because they woke up, they set an alarm and you wanted to sleep in. And don't bully people or push or anything like that. And then I think Dennis was kind of getting at this. It's fun to be, rowdy. It's not fun to deface property. It's not fun to climb something that shouldn't be climbed.
Yeah, or just
kid on somebody's shoulders. Awesome. You want to do like the crowd surfing thing with people around you? Go nuts. Be safe.
Yeah.
Don't damage anybody else's property.
Just don't be a jerk.
Yep.
Just don't be a jerk to the person next to you. Everyone's there to have fun. Don't ruin someone else's experience.
And then celebrate the Canes because they won a Stanley Cup, and that's really darn cool. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we grab numbers contestants, Dennis Cox has a message for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Credit card interest rates are now over 29% in a lot of cases, and most people are only making minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved, and they saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now, people. Go to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs numbers game contestants. Right now, if you call in and win the numbers game, you can win a $25 gift card to Potbelly's.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Which is different. I know normally we do it for the entire week, but a little different than what we did earlier, so pay attention.
We'll switch up.
Potbelly's $25 gift card on the line. We need 2 contestants. Call in now. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Call in right now to potentially get the glory of a victorious numbers game, and on top of that, $25 gifty to Potbelly's. Stick around. Numbers game next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
This is somebody that left money on the table so that other guys on his team could eat. When the best player does that, it's hard as hell for the organization not to do everything within their power to empower that guy and to put him in this position. The New York Knicks are unconventional in the way that they built it, and now they're NBA champions.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist. But untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. All right, right now, we have one phone line still open for the numbers game. So call in, 919-860-5326 if you want to jump right in. Lines open for anyone. If you want to play, call in. but I do want to give an extra nudge to the dozens of you we saw while we were out at tailgates and pre-Canes game that came up to me and either said, I've called in once for the numbers game and I lost. And I was like, call in again. Don't be discouraged. We don't give up around here. Or those of you that said you listen, but you've never had the courage to call in. We're not that scary, I promise you. We do not bite. So call in now, 919-860-5326. Looks like somebody's on the line, so you may have missed your chance. Maybe. Dennis is now laughing. I don't know what that means. Yep, all right, we got somebody. It is Sam in Raleigh, just joined us. Cal in Raleigh has been on the line and waiting patiently. So those will be our contestants for today. Again, the prize, a $25 gift card to Potbelly's. Cal in Raleigh, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Tim? Tim, real quick before this number games get started.
Okay.
As a city of Raleigh, use this as a reason to bring an MLB team here. Let's show the fans of MLB that we deserve a team.
Cal Raleigh is either Cal from Raleigh, not Cal Raleigh. Cal from Raleigh.
Maybe he is Cal Raleigh.
Maybe he is. Cal from Raleigh is either here to play the numbers game or he's running for sports governor of the area. He's like, before we get started, I would just like to make a campaign speech. So Cal, here's the deal. We're going to ask you and Sam the same question. Dennis pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. And it's very, very simple. So we'll go with this. I just encouraged people to get to the if you want to have the best seat in the house for the parade, you got to get there early. So if you are, it's not camping out, but kind of, right? You're going to get somewhere to wait in line for tickets or for a parade. You're going to be there for 4 or 5 hours. What snack are you bringing with you to tide you over? What's the sustenance that you have in your survival pack for a long wait before something like a parade?
Let me get some beef jerky.
All right, Dennis, any follow-ups?
Any particular flavor?
Oh, gosh. Let's go teriyaki.
All right, we have teriyaki beef jerky locked in for Cal from Raleigh. Let's go to Sam. Sam in Raleigh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to go with the same question for you. I just encouraged people to get to the parade early, and if you need to, bring some snacks. So the question is, you're camping out, whether it's for a parade, maybe it's to buy tickets for something, be the first into a new attraction. You're going to be somewhere 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours. What food are you bringing with you to make sure you are enjoying it, full, and you're good for the wait?
Oh, that's tough. I'm a pretty economical guy. I'll probably say I'll pack some peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Good, hold you over, good protein, and.
Hey, you don't have to feel apologize for picking a PB&J.
Quick question: creamy or crunchy peanut butter?
Oh, creamy.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that did not sound like the answer, Dennis. That K was brutal. All right. Cal and Raleigh went with beef jerky, teriyaki flavored. Sam and Raleigh went with PB&J, little peanut butter and jelly, creamy peanut butter.
This is actually difficult. I'm a creamy peanut butter only guy.
Okay.
Not a crunchy. I swerved you a little bit there.
I did. I thought that was
No. I can't do crunchy peanut butter. No. Either eat peanuts or have peanut butter. Don't do both at the same time. That's my opinion on that. I'm going to out myself here a little bit, Tim. I don't like jelly, so I can't do a PB&J. No, none at all. I've never in my entire life.
Because when you went for a follow-up, I thought you were going to say strawberry, grape, what are we looking at for the jellies? But you went peanut butter because you're not a jelly guy.
I am not. I am not a jelly guy. If a straight peanut butter sandwich, I'm all in. This is actually pretty difficult for me.
Not a beef jerky fan either?
No, I enjoy beef jerky. I genuinely do. Because I got to think as well, how long is this going to carry me over? That's the thing. To me, I was actually the correct answer for a parade on Saturday is a breakfast sandwich.
Oh.
Because that's what our second caller here, Sam in Raleigh, was getting at in terms of the protein. So I'm gonna go Sam in Raleigh on this one.
Okay.
Even though I don't like jelly, I'm gonna go take Sam in the PB&J.
Okay. Sam in Raleigh gets to go first. Cal, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to stay on hold for a minute or two. Sam, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir. Let's hear them.
All right. NFL players, Panthers only. Major League Baseball players that are in the 500 career home run club. NBA players that played in the 2026 playoffs, or NHL Hurricanes only?
Let's go Panthers and NFL.
NFL Panthers only is the category. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. If that's the case, your time will start when you hear the horn. Mushin Muhammad, Carolina Panthers.
87.
Say it again. Correct. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers.
Huh?
Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers.
Oh, 9.
Correct. James Bradbury, Carolina Panthers.
24.
Correct. Patrick Jeffers, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Jordan Gross, Carolina Panthers.
69.
Correct. Patrick Jeffers, Carolina Panthers.
4.
Incorrect. You were breaking up a little bit. Dennis heard you better than I did on the one. I was kind of excited for you to just keep throwing darts at Jeffers, see if you could get a perfect score. But 4 out of 5, very solid showing. Jeffers was 83. That's what we were looking for. And just in case anybody at home couldn't hear him, kind of like I couldn't hear him, Muhammad 87, Young 9, Bradbury 24, and Jordan Gross 69, and then Jeffers 83. Sam, stay on the line. We'll see if 4 is enough for the win, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, that brings us to Cal in Raleigh. Cal, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, Tim?
I need you to pick a category, so these are your options. Major League Baseball players that are part of the 500 Career Home Run Club, NBA players that played in the 2026 playoffs, or NHL Hurricanes only?
Give me the 500 Home Run Club.
All right, these are all players with at least 500 career home runs. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. We need all 5. We need a perfect score for the win, so exhaust all the options you got. You do have the entire 30 seconds to do it, so keep firing away. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Ken Griffey Jr., Seattle Mariners.
19.
Incorrect. Eddie Murray, Baltimore Orioles.
27.
Incorrect. Ken Griffey Jr., Seattle Mariners.
22.
Incorrect. Eddie Murray, Baltimore Orioles.
17.
Incorrect. Ken Griffey Jr., Seattle Mariners.
28.
Incorrect. Eddie Murray, Baltimore Orioles.
Pass.
David Ortiz, Boston Red Sox.
28.
Incorrect. Ken Griffey Jr., Seattle Mariners.
23. 24. 24 is David Ortiz.
You know what? You're wrong on a lot of different levels here.
Yeah.
24 is Griffey Jr. 33 Eddie Murray. 34 is Big Papi David Ortiz. Unfortunately, that's a 0. But hopefully, you had some fun. You fired away. You were the man in the arena. You just didn't win.
Hey, I got my message across. Let's go Canes. Let's support them Saturday morning. Let's go, guys. Come on, let's get an MLB team here.
Yeah. You may have not have won the numbers game, but you may have gotten a few votes in the sports governor's campaign you're running here.
I mean, you're campaigning for an MLB team, and you choose MLB, and they get a single one.
Ken Griffey Jr. I've said this before. Major League Baseball. I think it's because you identify people by where they're standing, not by their numbers. And if they're at bat, they go like Ken Griffey Jr. You don't need to know their number. 24 Griffey Jr. and 34 Ortiz, I do know. Like I've learned those against my will. So those are tough ones to miss. Either way, that means the winner is Sam in Raleigh. So Sam, congratulations. $25 gift card to Potbelly's coming your way. Congratulations again. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. All right. There you go, Sam. Man, a few words, Sam. But a 4 out of 5, pretty good. Patrick Jeffers would have been a tough one to get to complete the perfect score, too. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Kalshi, the world's biggest soccer tournament. We were talking about it earlier. It's here. It's arrived. It's underway. And you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Every match from the opening stage all the way to the final can be traded on Kalshi. And as I've mentioned a few times here, the United States, well, they looked good in their first game. Maybe that changed the way you think about this one. But you can trade on their stage of elimination all the way up to outright winner. But you can trade on things like, do they make the quarterfinals? And if they're eliminated specifically in the quarterfinals, a trade on yes, quarterfinals is their stage of elimination. A $100 trade, if it happens, will pay out nearly $525. That's good money. If you have a different opinion, maybe they don't make the quarterfinals. Maybe you think they're eliminated in the round of 16 or 32. If that's the case, go ahead and check it out. They're trading at 32, 31% for those, different payouts. And always remember, on Kalshi, you are trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and outs of your position. Get ready, everybody. I've got something cool to tell you. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, and you can use code TIMD. That's TIMD to get $10 when you trade 10. Right at sign up, use code TIMD, $10 as soon as you trade your first 10. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on the beautiful game. 18 plus only, restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back with some more Carolina Panthers talk. Stick around.
Golf's third major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the U.S. Open from Shinnecock Hills. Find out if J.J. Spawn can recreate last year's magic or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Champions Trophy. Coverage of the U.S. Open on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina.
Hank Williams Jr. Are you ready for the contract? Live in concert. It's a family tradition. Bocephus Live. Or can with special guest The Outlaws. Got a thing for the finer things. Saturday, June 20th. Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. Born to boogie. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series, presented by Live Nation.
Tim Donnelly here, and for this Men's Health Month, we are talking with Dr. Jonathan Chappell, orthopedic sports medicine surgeon from Wake Orthopedics. Doctor, we've now learned that tendon injuries, fractures are a little more common in men. How can they work to prevent those injuries and protect their bones and joints?
Well, we can never completely eliminate these injuries. Certainly they're going to happen in the sports that we play and we enjoy, and it's important to have those sports in our life for mental and physical health. But preventing these injuries comes down, in most cases for men, with the lack of flexibility. So focusing on a stretching program, working on core strengthening, some simple physical therapy exercises, and then things like maintaining a good healthy body weight are really important. So that steady dad bod creep we see in our 30s and 40s, trying to avoid that and maintain your flexibility are probably the biggest issues, I would say.
For more information on men's health this Men's Health Month and around the calendar, please visit wakemed.org. Once again, that is wakemed.org.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Tia, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Handy Hugo's, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I talked about this earlier. I don't want to flash turn the show on you in a couple of weeks where we go from Canes won the cup, Canes won the cup, Canes won the cup, Canes won the cup. It's football season. So we're going to we're going to mix in the football here even before the parade just to make sure everybody's acclimated by the time football season gets here. And with that, I thought we could use some of the work from a Mike Kay, who covers the Carolina Panthers, friend of the show. He was asked in a mailbag what the 3 biggest questions were for the Carolina Panthers, and I thought, all right, that's a good start right there, right? We can use the Charlotte Observer's Mike Kay to answer that question and just keep everybody getting back into the Panthers, meaning Carolina Panthers talk. Because eventually, you ready for this, Dennis? As we continue to make this switch from hockey to the football season, I'm going to stop making sure every time I say Panthers, I go Carolina Panthers, because I don't want everybody to be confused right now because there's still Florida Panthers fans that are being bitter about the Canes championship, and I don't want anybody to think we're sitting here talking about 3 biggest questions about the Panthers, and then they're going, who is that? That's not a winger. So eventually I'm going to stop saying every time I say Panthers, making sure I go back and go Carolina Panthers. We're just going to assume. But for now, I'll continue double checking and making sure we're all on the same page. Mike Kay was asked about the 3 biggest questions in his mailbag. And the 3 things he came up with, number 1 was left tackle. Number 2 was Jonathan Brooks. Number 3 was Xavier Legette. Left tackle, I think we've talked about quite a bit because when you draft someone in the first round, that's going to be a massive point of contention. Rasheed Walker seems to be a pretty worthy competitor for a starting job at the left tackle spot for week 1 of the Carolina Panthers season. So that's not going away, especially if Rasheed Walker wins the job. If Rasheed Walker wins the job and starts week 1, it is not he's the guy for the future. It's already a countdown until Rasheed Walker is no longer the starting left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. When you draft someone in the first round, and especially mid-first, or he's 19th overall, it's not like this dude was an Xavier Legette who, right at the end of the round. Eventually, Monroe Freeling will start. Eventually, even if you don't know if he's ready, you will have to throw him into the deep end and see what you took in the first round. That's going to make it a debate until he is established as the guy. If Rasheed Walker takes the reps for the first week with the first unit, it's going to be, all right, when's Monroe Freeling taking over? If he plays well in week 1, all right, when's Monroe Freeling taking over? Is it next year? It could be year 2. That's probably the latest it would be. Rasheed Walker's on a 1-year deal. That's why that's a question, and it's going to continue to be a question. Second thing, Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks is pure injury, right? I'm not I agree with Mike Kay that it is one of the biggest questions of the offseason. I just think it's one of the quickest conversations once you ask the question. If he stays healthy, does he get hurt again or does he not get hurt again? I don't think anybody doubts his top-end talent when healthy. It's just a matter of can he stay healthy and will the Panthers feel comfortable utilizing him in any kind of significant role and believing that he will stay healthy.
Yeah, what's the workload that you can expect for him?
I wouldn't imagine more than 10 touches, and not even 10 touches every game. I think Chuba Hubbard's going to have to be a workhorse. I think they're going to have to depend, at least in some form or fashion, on either Trevor Etienne or an A.J. Dillon or something like that, or somebody else that they add to the roster. And then there will be a role carved out for Jonathan Brooks. And I don't even know if that role will change until he proves, through the first 8 to 10 weeks that he's good with it. I don't think this is a give him 6 touches week 1. Cool, it worked. 8 touches game 2. Look at that. 12 touches by week 5. I think it's whatever they come up with, maybe 8 to 10 touches. And it's that every week for months until they feel like they're okay ramping it up. And I think that's just the conversation, right? Sometimes there are situations, like actually the third, Xavier Leggett, I think there's 100 questions about Xavier Leggett that go into how big his role is. Jonathan Brooks, I think there's one. Actually, I'll say two. Can he stay healthy? And how comfortable are the Panthers depending on him until they know the answer to number one? That's it. The conversation over. That's Jonathan Brooks' entire offseason. How healthy is he? And how comfortable are the Panthers depending on him prior to knowing the answer to the first question? That's it. Now let's ask the questions of Xavier Leggett. I mean, they could be as big picture, abstract as has he finally put it together? They could be as minute as he lost some weight this offseason. How does that affect his agility and ability to stay healthy? Is 10 pounds, 12 pounds enough? Should he have lost 24? Like, you can get down into the nitty-gritty. How do they utilize him? How different is he utilized from somebody like Chris Brazzell? How different is his role from somebody like Jimmy Horn? Because here's the thing. If Tetero McMillan's the number one, Jalen Coker's the number two. If Xavier Leggett is not the number three, say Chris Brazzell takes it over, maybe a John Mechie has a wonderful camp. Like if anybody else is the number three wide receiver, your number four, your number five, right? Those guys, you probably want them contributing on special teams, and you may consider them opportunities for gadget plays. Right? It's somebody who, like a Jimmy Horn, brings a particular skill set as far as speed, shiftiness, punt return ability. You want to get him in space. Is that something they use Xavier Leggett for? Do you need both? Xavier Leggett, to me, is a fascinating situation going into this year. Week one, Dennis, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you have some Leggett takes. If he played 65% of the snaps week one, I don't know if my jaw would be on the floor. If he played 22% of the snaps week one, I don't know if my jaw would be on the floor.
Talking about Leggett?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it was that low. I'd be shocked if it was like 22%. I'd be shocked if it was that low.
Would you be shocked? Well,
if it was more like 50%, I think that sounds more right.
Yeah, I think that just the range of outcomes for what they think he's going to be this year.
Good point.
Is crazy. And like part of it is, Dave Canales is who Dave Canales is, right? If you ask him, is it raining today? He'll say it's a great opportunity for the trees. Like he finds the good, right? So if I asked him about Xavier Leggett right now, he would say, oh, he's working hard, looking great, catching the ball. He's great. He's fantastic. I don't know if I fully believe that, right? I don't know. I know he's going to say it, but he'd say it about every single wide receiver in that room, I'm sure. So the Xavier Leggett question, to me, that's the one you throw to like the high school debate class. You're like, we're going to do this for the next hour. I need you to go research both sides of the discussion, and we're going to hash this one out. Left tackle and Jonathan Brooks, while be it big questions, I think that's like open and shut. That's like, do you believe in it or not? It's kind of quick. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll get back to the Carolina Hurricanes talk to start Overdrive. How about some players that can make individual bounces for them, individual improvements for the Canes from a Stanley Cup team to potentially be better next year? That's what we're talking about in Overdrive. So that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Thank you for hanging out with us today on The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Thank you to Dennis for keeping us up and running. Don't forget, all of the Stanley Cup Championship Parade information you need is on 999thefan.com and our app. Check it out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy Overdrive.
All the corner kicks, all the heart-stopping action, and all the soccer. Listen to 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports through July 19th as we bring you full coverage of soccer's biggest events. We'll have match updates, results, and news right through the championship and the awarding of the Golden Trophy. Our coverage of soccer's biggest event is presented by North Carolina Courage and Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows. But, man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the aluminum company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make you make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time when we have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. I'm just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. We take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come in, throw it in, and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
There's a pill version of Ozempic. Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic?
Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here. It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into overdrive. All highlights, no filler. As we run it back from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
Where do the Canes get better? Right? Because the two ways to get better. One, replace players with better players. Or two, keep the same players and they individually improve. Which is more realistic for some than others, right? It's very rare that you become a 3 levels up better player when you're 39 years old. It's very rare in year 14 in the league, you suddenly become something you have shown no inclinations would happen. Sometimes you can recapture some old magic, and there's definitely ebbs and flows to your career. But when you're a younger player, when you're a player whose role is expanding, right? There's both internal and external factors on your play that could lead to just a gigantic individual improvement. So let's name, say, 3 guys on the Carolina Hurricanes right now that in this experiment would be the exact same Carolina Hurricanes roster that we have at the beginning of next year that are the best candidates to help the Canes improve without changing the names on the roster. We'll go back and forth, Dennis. You like that little tennis action?
Let's go.
Toss it to you, toss it to me. All right, why don't you go ahead and lead off? And I have mine written down, so if you double up, I'll just say, yep, me too.
Alexander Nikishin.
That's my number one.
Okay, Alexander Nikishin.
I think that's very obvious. I don't think we're splitting the atom here.
We saw what Jackson Blake, his rookie season, overall his rookie season, but wasn't too bad. 17 goals, 17 assists, playing up and down the lineup. Kind of wore down a little bit, playing first year in the NHL, and we saw him struggle in the playoffs last year as well. But then he understood. I talked to him before training camp about how he changed his offseason training a little bit, actually skating a little bit less to kind of focus on the strength training and things like that a little bit more, so he can handle an 82-game season plus the playoffs. Well, I think it worked out pretty well for him, that first year to second year. I'm expecting the same thing from Alexander Nikishin. He has all the physical abilities, but I think actually having a full season of NHL hockey under his belt, understanding what it takes both physically and mentally to play in the NHL, in Rod system, and as well as in the playoffs, I think he should definitely take a big leap next year.
It's in order to expect or to predict a big jump, there has to be the upward mobility, right? You have to have a player who is capable of it. And the one thing we know about his physical skills is that he is capable of something much better. I don't think, again, I'm not breaking news here. He had some real rookie moments in the postseason.
Very much so.
Which, for the most part, seemed jitters or mental decisions, right? Like there was nothing that he tried to do that looked like, ooh, he can't do that. There were things that I was like, why did he try to do that rather than being held back physically? Which, I mean, that's just given to you at birth, right? Like those and earned in the gym and earned in the training. Not everybody has that, and he does. Also, we've seen defensemen in a Kane system just get better kind of year over year, especially for their first few in that system. So if he sticks around, if he keeps listening to the veterans on that blue line, if he keeps listening to the coaching staff, they will help him unlock that higher level of play. Who's your number two?
Logan Stankoven.
Interesting.
I think this is a player that we know created a bunch of chances, especially the second half of the year, and the goals just weren't happening. But then late in the season, March rolls around, all of a sudden things start clicking. Then it's sustained for 2 months after the regular season.
I don't mean to cut you off, but there's the anecdote, and I want to make sure I get the numbers right, that his goal was 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Olympic break, I think he told his dad, I'm not sure I'm going to get to 30.
Yeah.
And because at that, like, you look at it and I get what he was thinking, but then obviously after the Olympic break, it was like, never mind. What were you worried about? Like, he kind of, as you mentioned in March, everything came together and he ran away with some stuff.
Yeah, things pretty much took off mid-March and on for him. I think him having a grasp of the Canes system and going into a second full season with the team and playing center again, I think, again, just the continued adjustment and growth from it, I think he should improve on faceoffs as well, because I think that was a bit of a struggle for him this season was the faceoff dot. He was just over 44%. If he can creep that up to anywhere near 50%, that's a massive boost for him. And I think for him, his confidence has got to be sky high after the playoffs, and I don't see why he can't put up 50-plus points this upcoming season, if not pushing 60.
He was not one of my choices, but if there is a large jump from him, and this applies, this is the same point I'm going to make for one of mine. When you have a really good playoff, sometimes you go back to the regular season and just the way you carry yourself, it's like the kid on JV that played varsity during summer league or something like that, and then they go back down to JV, and just because they carry themselves like, oh, I handled myself on a varsity level, like they're now much better on JV. He's like, oh, I scored 11 goals in the postseason last year. Regular season, of course, I'm going to expect myself to score goals and win board battles and do everything. And sometimes it's just that mindset that changes it, which is why I put Jackson Blake here.
Oh, okay.
And it was Logan Stankoven or Jackson Blake because I was going to put one of the two super young dudes that were on that line. Jackson Blake is just a hint younger. So I went, all right, I'll take the guy who's, just whatever, half a year younger and roll with that. I think Jackson Blake could really become hey, we expect you to put up a point per game guy. Like it could, maybe not this upcoming year, but steps along that path until you are that guy. He's just very offensively gifted. He watches, he sees the game in a way that is very offensively gifted. Like he sees the options. Options not the word. He sees the opportunities to go score goals, and then he seizes them. So, and especially if they keep that line together, it'll be pretty darn good.
Yeah, you got to think for Jackson Blake, his first full season, 80 games, 17 goals, 17 assists, 34 points, plus 10. This year, 81 games. The only games that he missed was because he was being rested. But 22 goals, 31 assists, 53 points. It's a massive jump. There's no reason why you shouldn't expect him, because he also skated about nearly 3 minutes more of ice time. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds more of ice time. There's no reason why you can't expect a 60-point season from him.
I remember being very jarred when he was reaching his previous season stats and looking at how much time was remaining in the schedule. I don't remember exactly what the date was, but I remember going like, that he just tied his season high or his season total last year in points, and then it's like, and he still has forever to add to it. So, I mean, if it stays linear, if he improves at that rate again, what's that, another 19 points more? Like you're flirting with 75, which would be ridiculous.
And he'll turn 23 in August. Stankoven just turned 23 at the very end of February.
There you go.
Like there's still a ton of room to grow for these guys.
Who's your number 3?
Seth Jarvis.
Gosh darn it! I thought.
Oh, really? Same one?
I thought I was going to be so like, you're never going to believe this, but somebody who I think is Seth Jarvis. I was so gosh darn it, Dennis. No, actually, I'm kind of happy because it means we're seeing the ice the same.
We are, and I think it's just, when does he take the step to the next level? Because when we talk about, again, a young player, we talk about, Jackson Blake is 23, about to turn 23 years old. Logan Stankoven just turned 23 back in February. Seth Jarvis is only 1 year older than Logan Stankoven.
My favorite, like, there's no way this is true, is Seth Jarvis was born in 2002.
Yeah.
And Alexander Nikishin was born in 2001.
Yes.
So Nikishin, who is, seen as this, like, borderline, he's like, 25% still a prospect. Like they like an adolescent NHL player, and Jarvis is a weathered veteran. Jarvis is actually younger than Nikishin.
Yeah. He's literally only a year older than Logan Stankoven is. But I'll turn it over to you here, Tim. But my question is, does he take the next step as a player in terms of his production? He's been at 33, 32, 32 in terms of goals, 34, 35, 34 in terms of assists. Now, granted, he's also played in fewer games per year over the last 3 years. So his points per game this year is the highest of his career. But I do question the health of that shoulder injury that he's been dealing with for a few years. But when does he make it, hey, this is a 40-goal, 75-point guy?
You hit on it for me. I think mentally, in the last 3 years, his game, his hockey IQ, his understanding of everything has continued to trajectory up the way that you would expect a player like his to. But I do think that shoulder, or whatever he's been dealing with, right? Because he's had little ailments here and there. I think it's made it tough for him physically to make good on how much better he is seeing the game. So this offseason, I would imagine priority number 1 is get as healthy as possible. Last offseason, I think there was some his goal was to make sure he was on Team Canada. And obviously earlier on, you're looking at like 21, 20 years old. He's just trying to prove that he's an NHL dude. Now he's proven he's an NHL guy. He's been on Team Canada. This offseason, he's won a cup, right? Like this offseason, if it's surgery, it's surgery. If it's something else, it's something else. If it's, I don't know. I don't pretend to be a medical professional. Get as healthy as he possibly can, because I think, and this is, it's a hypothesis, but it's why he's on my list. if he is as healthy as he's been the last 3 or 4 years, and if the surgery, maybe he misses a couple games at the beginning, whenever he comes back, if he is fully healthy, go Seth Jarvis, and then he gets to pair in all of the hockey IQ lessons that he has piled on top of each other the last few years, that's when I think you see those two elements are the things the scientist pours into the beaker, and then all of a sudden, boom, right? Explosions are coming out. Because he has, like you mentioned, his points per game are going up. I think his health has kind of been going down. And he's just been getting better at maneuvering without some of that health. Coming up next here on Overdrive, we look towards a supplemental draft target for the Panthers or not. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
How long have we been telling you that the Hurricanes system is not the problem? The players just need to execute the system better, and Carolina needed a few breaks along the way. Total health for 16 wins, 19 games, 8 weeks of everybody being available. You need some luck. You need to be great. Carolina got both.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Congratulations to the 2026 Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes. Brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Order free samples at TimberTech.com. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
It's Men's Health Month. WakeMed Primary Care wants to remind you to schedule your annual checkup. It's important to know your health numbers related to cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight, and BMI before it leads to chronic diseases. Focus on your health and preventing disease by building healthy habits and getting that yearly checkup and those screenings that you've been putting off. To schedule your appointment, visit wakemed.org. Once again, that's wakemed.org.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Don't miss Chatley Marine's big summer sales event, June 17th through the 20th. Best prices of the year. Over 200 boats in stock. Pontoons, deck boats, center consoles, Yamaha boats, and Yamaha wave runners. On-water demos, special financing, interest rates as low as 2.49% on Yamaha boats. Extended hours Wednesday through Friday till 7, Saturday till 3. See us before you buy at Chatley Marine's big summer sales event in Sanford, featuring Yamaha boats and Yamaha wave runners. We will save you money.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 28 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Canes fans, the celebration is on. Join 99.9 The Fan Saturday morning as downtown Raleigh turns into a sea of red for the Carolina Hurricanes Stanley Cup Championship Parade. Our pre-parade broadcast starts at 10, live from Taverna Agora on Hillsborough Street. Adam, Dennis, and Tim will have the latest parade updates, hear from fellow fans, and cheer on your champs as they take the main stage. Championship Parade coverage on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Parkway Sleep Health Centers in Cary. Sound sleep, sound health.
In World War I, American fighter pilots covering a plane's rear position coined the phrase, "I've got your six," to mean I've got your back. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
We're in overdrive on 99.9 The Fan. Today's key highlights and opinion from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
Brandon Sorsby. In case you've been so entrenched in hockey talk that you've completely missed the gossipiest news of the football offseason. Brandon Sorsby got himself caught up in a gambling addiction, as he and his representation have revealed, where it turns out he had made bets on a college football team that he was a part of, in addition to thousands and thousands of dollars of bets on other sports and other levels of sport and everything else. Because of that, he's not going to play college football. He was supposed to, quote unquote supposed to. He had committed to transfer from Cincinnati to Texas Tech and cash a big old check in NIL money. But with the gambling situation and certain rulings by the courts and certain threatening and posturing by lawyers on conference side and team side and everything else, he's elected to go into a supplemental draft in the NFL. Now, what a supplemental draft is basically a player becomes eligible for the draft after the NFL draft. So what teams can do is it becomes like a blind auction. You can put in which 2027 NFL draft pick you are willing to use on Brandon Sorsby. Quarterback, some people are very excited about his ability. Some are very concerned about his off the field. Both are valid. And then you would get the player, and whenever that pick comes up in the 2027 draft, it just doesn't exist. You'll get skipped over. That's how it works. We've seen it in the past. Terrell Pryor was a supplemental draft pick. There was a wide receiver from Baylor that was a pretty notable supplemental draft pick, but it doesn't happen very often. I don't think we've had one since 2023, and not a high pick in longer than that. First of all, just to let you know that this is a big deal, Pete Thamel, ESPN, College Football Insider, we have some audio here for you on just the interest that there is across the NFL in a quarterback and a player named Brandon Sorsby.
Brandon Sorsby is a quarterback who has first-round talent. And when a player like this becomes available in a forum like the supplemental draft, the entire NFL is going to dig in as much as they can. I've been told by both NFL sources and Sorsby's camp that they expect all 32 teams to be at his pro day, which is going to be July 10th in the Dallas area at Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas. His agent, Ron Slavin, told me yesterday that 25 GMs have reached out already directly to him to talk about Sorsby and his availability. Because of the nature of the supplemental draft, where you put in a blind pick, everyone kind of has skin in the game here. And because it's a quarterback who could end up being a franchise quarterback, I'm not saying he is, but the talent is certainly intriguing enough. Everyone is going to dig in.
That's interesting. That quarterback first round talent, if you just stop there, I think most people would be surprised what teams would overlook if you have a quarterback first round talent. Because it's a sport where everybody either has a franchise guy or they are chasing having a franchise guy. And you usually don't keep your job very long if you don't find a franchise guy. So if there's a chance you can get a first-round talent quarterback, and maybe even for a value on a little dented can special for some stuff that others might care about more than you do, people are going to look into it. Now, I thought this was going to be really fun for Carolina Panthers fans to like watch from afar, right? I thought this was going to be like a rubbernecking situation, right? Like, ooh, this is going to get interesting. Get the popcorn. Let's watch. Until yesterday, I think it was right after the show, just, moving around, trying to read some things, and all of a sudden the Panthers keep popping up as a team that could potentially make a big move in the supplemental draft for Brandon Sorsby, the quarterback. Now here's Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL front office executive, current ESPN analyst, talking about the teams that could be interested in the player.
From a team-building standpoint, it is so hard to find quarterbacks. So there are some teams, in my opinion, non-obvious, teams like Minnesota, Atlanta, Carolina, that may sit there and say, wow, in the second or third round, we may have a quarterback for the next 10 years. What about Pittsburgh? And then you layer on teams like Arizona, Miami, the Jets. There's going to be a bunch of teams that are going to take a long look at this opportunity.
Wait a second. Did he say Carolina? What? Huh? Ben Solak of ESPN wrote an article where he listed the 10 team, or the top teams, I should say, that were the best fits for Brandon Sorsby, and Carolina was number 2. Number two. There was enough buzz that I was like, all right, let's think about it. All right. If maybe I'm missing something, let's put go get the notebook. Let's do the pros and cons, right? There's no reason not to be thorough. I'm on my Eric Tolsky stuff, Canes GM. If someone's available, I'm going to ask about it. I'm going to make the call. I don't get it. I did the thinking, right? I sat down. I tried to look at it from a bunch of different angles. I don't get why suddenly Carolina is a real Brandon Sorsby interested party or good fit. Because here's the thing. If they weren't all in on Bryce Young, I would get it. But every bit of action that they've had has told me that for this year, they're all in on Bryce Young. And the thing is, they might use a 2027 pick on a quarterback if they learned this season that they are not all in on Bryce Young, right? If they give him a new play caller and they give him another third-round wide receiver and they give him another year and they give him all of this and they give him the benefit of having a good playoff game and they run it out there and he doesn't do well, I'm not saying there's a 0% chance they could use a 2027 pick on a quarterback. Matter of fact, if it goes bad enough, it could be a high 2027 pick on a quarterback. But why would you do that before you've decided you're out on Bryce? Because that's what you'd be doing. You'd be drafting the quarterback with a pick in 2027 before you get the benefit of the full year of information from Bryce Young. And if you're drafting him to back up Bryce Young, if you're doing this because you're not super excited about Kenny Pickett or whatever, then I mean, you're not going to put in the pick in the supplemental draft that'll get the player. Right? If it's a first-round talent and you're going like, I'll give him a 7th or a 6th, somebody else will give – I mean, a lot of the predictions are second. I don't think it'll be that high. But if they're predicting second, third, or fourth, like, you know what I mean? Somebody's going to be tantalized enough by the skill set that they go after him.
And there's also, you got to play the game in the sense of, because there's priority in the supplemental draft as well, because you're one of the 14 playoff teams. The Panthers, you're lower in priority. So if you're anticipating teams would give up a third-round pick to get him, well, then you would have to give up a second to try and leapfrog those teams because they have higher priority, again, depending on what teams go for them.
That'll do it for us on Overdrive. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. Join me and my co-host Chris Lee from WREL TV as our podcast Panthers Playbook rolls on this offseason, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Carolina Panthers news as we break down the NFL draft, insights on free agents and prospects, plus all the inside information on the offseason. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Congratulations to the 2026 Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
Congratulations, Canes, from Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, proud partner of the Stanley Cup champions.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers, my favorite place to go in the Triangle for the best wings on the planet. How about this special? Every Monday, half-priced wings all day. Dine-in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Everything on the